In the grand theater of life, every soul is both the author and the actor. Yet, how often do we play the role of a victim, relinquishing our creative power to the seeming forces of the world? I tell you now, you are not a victim of circumstances, misfortunes, or failures. You are a victor, the master of your destiny, and the architect of your reality. To be a victor is to know that your life is not shaped by chance, but by choice. The world you see, with all its challenges and blessings, is a reflection of the thoughts and feelings you carry within. When you imagine yourself as a conqueror, as one who overcomes, the universe rearranges itself to mirror that image. The imagination is the greatest gift bestowed upon humanity, the unseen force through which we shape our reality. Most people view imagination as mere fantasy, a whimsical escape from the tangible world. But in truth, it is the seed from which all creation blossoms. Everything you experience, every joy, challenge, success, or failure can be traced back to the images and emotions you have entertained in the mind. To understand this principle is to unlock the key to transforming your life. When you close your eyes and imagine, you are not engaging in idle daydreaming. You are actively creating. The world around you may seem rigid, unchangeable, governed by external forces. But this is an illusion. The real power lies within, in the visions you hold and the feelings you cultivate. Every building, every invention, every piece of art, and every great achievement began as a formless idea, nurtured by the imagination of an individual who dared to believe in its reality. You may wonder how something as intangible as imagination can influence the material world. The answer lies in the connection between thought and experience. Your thoughts generate feelings, and your feelings shape your actions. These actions, in turn, dictate the life you live. If you imagine yourself as successful, capable, and abundant, you align your emotions and behaviors with these qualities. On the other hand, if you dwell on fear, lack, or failure, your actions and experiences will reflect those states. Imagination does not require the approval of the senses. What you see, hear, touch, or experience in the physical world does not limit what you can imagine. In fact, the most profound changes occur when you dare to imagine something entirely contrary to your current circumstances. Consider the person who is financially struggling yet imagines themselves living in abundance. To the outside world, this might seem foolish or delusional, but if they persist in their vision, something remarkable happens. Their inner state begins to shift. They feel a sense of wealth and gratitude, even before it manifests outwardly. This shift in feeling is the magnet that draws new opportunities, people, and circumstances that align with their imagined reality. It is important to note that imagination operates continuously, whether you are conscious of it or not. Most people allow their imagination to run unchecked, replaying scenes of worry, regret, or fear. They unknowingly create lives filled with the very things they wish to avoid. This is why becoming aware of your imagination and directing it purposefully is so vital. You must guard your thoughts as a gardener guards their crops, pulling out the weeds of doubt and negativity and planting seeds of hope, faith, and love. The key to effective use of imagination lies in embodying the feeling of your desired outcome. It is not enough to think about success or happiness, you must feel it as though it is already yours. When you close your eyes and imagine, allow yourself to fully immerse in the experience. See the details, hear the sounds, and feel the emotions. For example, if you desire a new home, imagine walking through it. Feel the texture of the walls, smell the fresh paint, hear the sound of your footsteps echoing in the halls. This vivid, emotional connection to your vision is what activates the creative process. Doubt often creeps in when we imagine something that feels too far removed from our current reality. But doubt is a learned response, a product of conditioning and past disappointments. It has no power unless you give it power. When doubt arises, remember that the imagination does not operate within the constraints of logic or reason. Its domain is limitless and its power is infinite. Trust that what you vividly imagine and deeply believe is already on its way to becoming your reality. Many will say, I have tried imagining, but nothing changed. This reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of the process. Imagination is not about wishful thinking or fleeting moments of visualization. It requires persistence and faith. Just as a seed planted in the soil needs time, water, and sunlight to grow, your imagined vision requires consistency and nurturing. You must return to it daily, reaffirming your belief in its reality, even when no visible evidence exists. The most beautiful aspect of imagination is that it frees you from the confines of the past. No matter what has happened before, you have the power to create something entirely new. You are not bound by your mistakes, failures, or circumstances. Each moment offers a fresh canvas upon which you can paint the life you desire. The only limitation is the scope of your vision. Imagination is not an escape from reality, it is the foundation of reality. To live without harnessing its power is to drift aimlessly, subject to the whims of chance. But to live with intentional imagination is to step into the role of creator, shaping your world with purpose and precision. As you awaken to this truth, you will realize that your life is not something that happens to you, it is something you create. So close your eyes, dream boldly, and dare to imagine a reality that reflects the greatness within you. For what you imagine today will become the life you live tomorrow. In life, we often find ourselves surrounded by circumstances that seem insurmountable, as though they hold the ultimate power to dictate who we are and what we can achieve. But this is a false narrative, one that many accept without question. The truth is, circumstances do not define you, they merely reflect your inner state. You are far greater than the sum of your experiences, and within you lies the power to rise above any situation, no matter how daunting it may seem. Circumstances are like the surface of a lake, ever-changing, influenced by external forces such as wind, rain, or sunlight. Yet beneath the surface lies a depth that remains untouched by these fleeting conditions. That depth is your true self, the essence of who you are beyond appearances. To believe that your identity is tied to the surface is to live in a state of limitation, constantly reacting to what happens around you. But when you recognize that you are the stillness beneath the waves, you free yourself from the grip of circumstance. Many people allow their current conditions to dictate their thoughts, feelings, and ultimately their actions. They say, "I can't be happy because of this," or "I'll never succeed because of that." In doing so, they hand over their creative power to the external world, becoming prisoners of their environment. However, the key to freedom lies in understanding that circumstances are not fixed, they are malleable. They are the product of past thoughts, beliefs, and choices. Change those inner factors, and the outer conditions must follow suit. This does not mean ignoring reality or pretending challenges don't exist. Instead, it is about refusing to let those challenges define your sense of self. For example, a person who loses their job might be tempted to think, "I am a failure." But the job loss is merely an event, it does not diminish their inherent worth or potential. By shifting their perspective and seeing the situation as an opportunity for growth or redirection, they reclaim their power. The event remains the same, but its meaning changes, and with it, the path forward. Your ability to rise above circumstances begins with awareness. Recognize when you are identifying too closely with a situation, when you are letting it dictate how you see yourself. Pause and remind yourself that no condition is permanent. The most challenging moments in life often carry within them the seeds of transformation. What feels like an obstacle today may, in hindsight, be the very thing that propelled you to greater heights. Consider the stories of those who have overcome great adversity. These individuals often faced circumstances far more difficult than most of us can imagine: poverty, illness, loss, or failure. Yet they refused to let those circumstances define them. Instead, they used them as stepping stones to create something extraordinary. What separates these individuals is not their circumstances, but their response to them. They chose to see themselves as more than their situation, and in doing so, they transcended it. The power of choice cannot be overstated. No matter what is happening around you, you always have the power to choose your thoughts and attitudes. This choice may feel small, even insignificant, in the face of overwhelming circumstances, but it is the foundation of true freedom. When you choose to see yourself as capable, resilient, and worthy regardless of external conditions, you set a new course for your life. Your circumstances may not change overnight, but as you persist in this inner shift, the outer world will begin to reflect it. It is also essential to understand that circumstances are not punishments or rewards, they are neutral. They gain meaning only through the interpretations you give them. If you see a setback as a failure, it becomes a weight that holds you down. But if you see it as a lesson or an opportunity, it becomes a tool for growth. This perspective is entirely within your control, and it is what allows you to rise above any situation. Faith plays a crucial role in transcending circumstances. Faith is the assurance that your current situation does not define your ultimate reality. It is the conviction that, regardless of appearances, you have the power to create a new experience. This faith is not blind optimism, but a deep knowing that the creative force within you is greater than any external condition. As you cultivate this mindset, you will find that circumstances lose their grip on you. They may still arise, as challenges are a natural part of life, but they no longer have the power to dictate your identity or your destiny. You will begin to see yourself not as a victim of your environment, but as the creator of your experience. And in that realization, you will discover true freedom. You are not defined by what happens to you, but by how you choose to respond. Circumstances may shape your path temporarily, but they do not determine who you are or what you can achieve. You are far greater than any situation you face, and the power to rise above lies within you. Stand firm in this truth, and watch as the world begins to reflect the strength, resilience, and greatness that you carry. To assume the feeling of victory is to embody the very essence of success, even before it becomes visible in your external world. It is an act of aligning yourself with the energy and mindset of a person who has already triumphed. This principle is not a mere intellectual exercise, it is the practice of living and thinking as though the victory you desire has already been realized. To fully understand this concept, we must first recognize that our outer reality is a reflection of our inner state. The feelings we carry and the assumptions we make about ourselves shape the events that unfold in our lives. Imagine a champion standing on the podium, their arms raised in celebration, basking in the glow of their victory. The joy, the sense of accomplishment, the pride, they are not just thoughts but feelings that they carry in their being. What if, instead of waiting for the moment of victory to arrive, you could step into that feeling right now? By doing so, you would begin to attract the circumstances that match this feeling, because the world around us is shaped by what we believe and feel. The feeling of victory is the magnetic force that draws success into your life, and the more you can saturate yourself in this feeling, the quicker it will manifest. The power of assuming the feeling of victory lies in its ability to influence not only your thoughts but your actions. When you feel victorious, you act with confidence, resilience, and determination. You make decisions from a place of strength rather than fear. You move forward with conviction, knowing that success is inevitable. This feeling of certainty becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your actions reflect your belief that you are already victorious, and the results will follow suit. But how do you step into this feeling when your current circumstances may suggest otherwise? The key is to understand that the world around you is an illusion, constantly shifting and reflecting your inner beliefs. Your current situation, no matter how challenging, is only temporary. It is a reflection of past thoughts and emotions, not an indicator of your true potential. Therefore, to change your reality, you must first change the way you feel about yourself and your future. When you assume the feeling of victory, you are consciously shifting your mental state to one of success, even if the evidence has not yet manifested in your life. This process requires faith. Faith is the belief that your assumed feelings will eventually materialize into your physical reality. It is not a passive hope, but an active trust in the creative power of your imagination. To assume the feeling of victory is to trust that the victory you are experiencing in your mind will soon be reflected in the world around you. You must believe that the inner changes you are making are as real and powerful as any external achievement. This requires a shift in how you perceive time. Victory does not always arrive in the form we expect or on the timeline we anticipate, but it always comes when we align ourselves with the feeling of having already achieved it. There will be moments of doubt and resistance. You may question if this practice really works or if it is just wishful thinking. But remember, Feelings precede manifestations. A seed, when planted in the ground, does not immediately sprout into a tree. It requires time, nurturing, and care. Similarly, the feeling of victory, when assumed and sustained, will eventually manifest in the world around you. The key is to persist even when there is no outward evidence of your success. Trust that the feeling you are embodying is creating the conditions for your victory to unfold. To assume the feeling of victory, it is helpful to visualize yourself already living your desired outcome. Take a few moments each day to close your eyes and immerse yourself in the feeling of having achieved your goal. See the details of your success, whether it is a business triumph, a personal goal, or a spiritual breakthrough. Feel the emotions that come with that success: pride, joy, relief, and gratitude. Allow yourself to fully experience these emotions in the present moment. The more vividly you can imagine and feel your success, the more you align your energy with it. In time, your external reality will shift to match the internal world you have created. Another powerful way to assume the feeling of victory is to change your self-talk. The words you speak to yourself shape your self-image and influence the actions you take. If you constantly tell yourself that you are struggling, that success is out of reach, or that victory is for others but not for you, then you are reinforcing a mindset of defeat. But when you speak to yourself as a victor, as someone who has already achieved their goals, you begin to rewrite your internal narrative. Tell yourself, I am successful. I am successful. I am a winner. My dreams are already coming true. These affirmations, when spoken with conviction and belief, will help anchor the feeling of victory in your consciousness. Assuming the feeling of victory is a transformative practice that empowers you to create your desired reality. It is the art of living as though success is already yours, and in doing so you become a magnet for it. As you immerse yourself in the feeling of victory, you will find that challenges become opportunities, setbacks become lessons, and every step you take brings you closer to the manifestation of your dreams. Trust in the process, remain persistent, and know that the victory you feel today will soon become the reality you experience tomorrow. Awareness is the gateway to transformation. It is the key that unlocks the door to your true potential and allows you to step into a life of purpose, clarity, and fulfillment. Many people go through life on autopilot, reacting to circumstances and allowing external events to shape their thoughts and emotions. But true power lies in the ability to be aware of what is happening both inside and around you. Awareness is not simply about being conscious of the present moment, but it is about understanding the deeper currents that drive your thoughts, feelings, and actions. At its core, awareness is about observation. It is the practice of stepping back from the stream of daily life and becoming the observer of your own experience. When you are aware, you no longer identify with your thoughts or emotions. You recognize that you are not your thoughts, but the observer of them. You are not your fears or anxieties, but the one who notices them. This shift in perspective allows you to detach from the constant noise of the mind and tap into a higher state of consciousness. It is in this state of heightened awareness that your true power resides. One of the most profound aspects of awareness is its ability to reveal the nature of your inner world. Most people go through life unaware of the patterns and beliefs that govern their behavior. They may have limiting beliefs about themselves, their worth, or their ability to succeed, but these beliefs operate in the background, shaping their decisions without them even realizing it. Awareness brings these unconscious beliefs into the light, allowing you to examine them, and if necessary, replace them with more empowering ones. Once you are aware of the stories you have been telling yourself, you can rewrite them and create a new narrative one that aligns with your true desires and goals. Awareness also reveals the power of choice. When you are not aware, you are at the mercy of your circumstances. You react automatically to external events driven by emotions like fear, anger, or frustration. But when you are aware, you realize that you have the power to choose how you respond. You no longer have to be a victim of your circumstances. You can choose to respond from a place of calm, clarity, and wisdom. This ability to choose is what separates those who live reactive lives from those who live deliberately and with purpose. With awareness, you begin to take responsibility for your own life. You stop blaming external factors and start recognizing that you are the creator of your experience. Awareness is also the foundation of self-mastery. To master anything, you must first be aware of it. If you want to master your emotions, you must become aware of how you feel in any given moment. If you want to master your thoughts, you must be aware of the quality of your thinking. If you want to master your actions, you must be aware of the habits and patterns that govern your behavior. Awareness allows you to see where you are and where you want to go, and it gives you the clarity to make the changes needed to reach your goals. Without awareness, you are like a ship adrift at sea, unaware of the direction you are heading. But with awareness, you can navigate with precision, choosing the path that will lead you to the life you desire. In addition to self-mastery, awareness fosters compassion and understanding. When you are aware of your own thoughts and emotions, you become more empathetic to the experiences of others. You recognize that everyone is dealing with their own inner battles, and that people's behavior is often a reflection of their own struggles. Awareness enables you to respond with kindness and understanding, rather than judgment. It creates a sense of connection, because when you are aware of your own humanity, you are better able to recognize it in others. This compassionate awareness enhances your relationships and allows you to interact with others from a place of love, not fear. The practice of awareness also deepens your connection to the present moment. So often people live in the past or the future, dwelling on what has been or worrying about what might be. But the present moment is where true power lies. In the present, you have the ability to create, to choose, and to act. When you are fully aware of the present moment, you are no longer caught in the stories of your past or the anxieties of your future. You are free to be fully engaged in life, to experience the richness of each moment, and to act with purpose and intention. The present is where life happens, and awareness allows you to tap into that flow. Another powerful aspect of awareness is its ability to dissolve limiting beliefs and negative patterns. Often the things that hold us back are not external obstacles but internal beliefs that limit our potential. These beliefs, such as I am not good enough, I am not deserving of success, or I will never be able to change, are deeply ingrained in our subconscious minds. But when you become aware of these beliefs, they lose their power. Simply acknowledging them is the first step in freeing yourself from them. You can then replace them with new, empowering beliefs that align with the reality you wish to create. To cultivate awareness, practice being present in every moment. Pay attention to your thoughts, your feelings, and your physical sensations. When you find yourself lost in thought or caught up in an emotion, gently bring your focus back to the present. Over time, you will develop a deeper sense of awareness, and this awareness will begin to permeate every aspect of your life. Awareness is a powerful tool for transformation. It allows you to become conscious of your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors, enabling you to make intentional choices that align with your true desires. It empowers you to take control of your life and create the reality you want to experience. As you cultivate greater awareness, you will find that your life begins to shift in remarkable ways. The world around you will reflect the clarity, peace, and purpose that you hold within. Through awareness, you step into your full power and begin to live a life that is truly authentic and aligned with your highest potential. The first step in reprogramming the mind is recognizing that our thoughts shape our reality. The ideas and beliefs we hold about ourselves and the world around us determine how we experience life. If we believe that success is difficult to attain or that we are not worthy of love, we will create experiences that reflect those beliefs. On the other hand, if we adopt empowering beliefs about our potential, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. Therefore, the key to reprogramming the mind is to become aware of the limiting beliefs that have been holding us back and to replace them with new, more constructive ones. One powerful way to begin reprogramming the mind is through affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that challenge the negative beliefs that we have been conditioned to accept as truth. By repeating these affirmations daily, we begin to rewire our brains and shift our subconscious programming. For example, if you have struggled with feelings of inadequacy, you might affirm, I am worthy of success and happiness. By consistently repeating this affirmation, you begin to change the neural pathways in your brain, replacing the old belief with a new one that supports your growth and success. Visualization is another potent tool for reprogramming the mind. Visualization involves mentally rehearsing the experiences you desire, vividly imagining yourself already living your ideal life. The brain does not distinguish between real and vividly imagined experiences. It responds to the feelings and emotions that arise from these mental images. When you visualize your desired outcome with intense emotion, you activate the same neural pathways that would be triggered if the experience were actually happening. This not only strengthens your belief in the possibility of your success, but also aligns your subconscious mind with the energy of that success. Over time, this alignment can lead to the manifestation of your desires in the physical world. Another crucial aspect of reprogramming the mind is surrounding yourself with positive influences. The people you spend time with, the content you consume, and the environments you inhabit all play a role in shaping your mental programming. If you are constantly exposed to negativity or limited thinking, it can be difficult to shift your mindset. On the other hand, by surrounding yourself with individuals who support your growth, engaging with uplifting and empowering content, and spending time in environments that inspire you, you create a fertile ground for positive change. These external influences reinforce the new beliefs and behaviors you are working to adopt, making it easier to stay on track and maintain your focus. Reprogramming the mind also requires patience and consistency. The mind is a powerful tool, but it takes time to change deeply ingrained beliefs and patterns. Just as a plant requires consistent care and nurturing to grow, so too does the reprogramming process. It is important to be patient with yourself and trust that the changes you are making are taking root, even if you don't see immediate results. The key is to stay committed to your practice, knowing that every small shift in thought and behavior is a step toward the life you desire. In addition to being patient, it is essential to believe in the process. Self-doubt is one of the greatest obstacles to reprogramming the mind. When you begin changing your beliefs, you may encounter resistance from your subconscious mind, which is deeply invested in maintaining the status quo. This resistance may show up as feelings of fear or uncertainty. However, it is important to recognize that these feelings are simply part of the reprogramming process. They are not signs that the process is failing, but rather indications that your mind is stretching and evolving. Embrace the discomfort as a sign of growth, and continue to trust in your ability to change. Reprogramming the mind also involves releasing old emotional baggage. Many of the beliefs that limit us are rooted in past experiences, often from childhood. These experiences may have caused emotional wounds that continue to influence our thoughts and behaviors. To truly reprogram the mind, it is essential to address and release these past traumas. This may involve forgiveness both of others and of yourself, or engaging in healing practices such as journaling, therapy, or meditation. By clearing away the emotional debris from the past, you create space for new, empowering beliefs to take root. It is important to take inspired action. While reprogramming the mind is a powerful tool, it is not a substitute for action. The mind shapes your beliefs and perceptions, but it is your actions that bring those beliefs into reality. As you shift your mindset and begin to see yourself as capable of success, take bold steps toward your goals. Trust that as you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you will begin to create the circumstances that match your new reality. Reprogramming the mind is a transformative process that can lead to profound changes in every area of your life. By becoming aware of your thoughts, replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones, and consistently practicing tools like affirmations, visualization, and mindfulness, you can rewire your brain and create the life you desire. It requires patience, belief, and consistent effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. When you master the art of reprogramming your mind, you unlock your true potential and step into a life of abundance, success, and fulfillment. Faith in the unseen is the foundational principle that bridges the gap between the physical world and the world of infinite possibilities. It is the belief in something beyond what the eyes can see or the senses can touch. This kind of faith requires trust in a reality that is not yet visible, but one that exists in potential. It is the force that drives us to pursue our dreams, even when circumstances appear unfavorable, and it empowers us to take bold actions in the face of uncertainty. Faith in the unseen operates on the understanding that the unseen is just as real, if not more so, than what is apparent in the physical world. At its core, faith in the unseen is the belief that our desires, dreams, and aspirations are already manifesting in the unseen realm, long before they appear in the physical. This is not blind faith, but a conscious belief in the unseen process of creation. In many ways, it mirrors the natural world. Seeds are planted in the soil, but their growth occurs below the surface before they emerge into the open. Similarly, when we plant the seeds of our desires in the subconscious mind, we trust that, even though we cannot immediately see the results, they are being nurtured and cultivated in the unseen realms of possibility. This type of faith transcends traditional religious or spiritual interpretations. It is a universal principle that operates in every area of life. It is the knowing that things are always working out for us, even when we cannot yet see the evidence. This belief fuels resilience and persistence, especially when facing challenges or setbacks. When you have faith in the unseen, you are not deterred by temporary appearances or external conditions. You trust in a deeper, invisible current that is guiding you toward your desired outcomes. The process of manifesting desires, for instance, requires an unwavering belief that the desired outcome is already on its way, even before any tangible evidence presents itself. When we manifest, we are not asking for something to come into existence. Rather, we are aligning ourselves with the realization that what we seek is already present in the unseen. The challenge is to continue trusting in this process, especially when the physical world appears to be at odds with our desires. The work, then, is not to make things happen, but to stay in faith and to remain in alignment with the belief that the unseen is as real as the seen. Faith in the unseen also calls for patience. The journey from desire to manifestation often takes time, and the space between these two realities can feel uncertain or uncomfortable. During this time, many may begin to doubt or question their path, especially when they see no immediate results. But it is in these moments of doubt that the strength of one's faith is truly tested. The unseen work continues even when we cannot see it, just as a flower continues to grow in the dark before it bursts forth into the light. Trusting in the unseen means knowing that even when progress seems imperceptible, the universe is still working behind the scenes to bring your desires into form. One of the key components of faith in the unseen is the ability to let go of attachment to the outcome. Faith in the unseen is not about controlling how things unfold, but about trusting that the universe knows the best timing and way for your desires to manifest. This trust allows you to release the anxiety or impatience that often accompanies the desire for something. When you are able to let go of the how, and when you make room for the universe to work in ways you may not have previously imagined. This is an act of surrender, not in defeat, but in the understanding that there is a greater intelligence at play that is leading you toward what is for your highest good. The law of attraction also operates on the principle of faith in the unseen. What we focus on, believe in, and feel deeply, we attract into our experience. However, this process requires not just thinking positive thoughts, but truly believing in the unseen reality of what we desire. This belief must be unwavering, no matter what external evidence presents itself. For example, if you are seeking financial abundance, you must hold the faith that the abundance is already on its way, even when your current financial situation seems less than ideal. It is in holding that belief, trusting in the unseen, that you align your actions, thoughts, and feelings with the energy of abundance, and in turn attract it into your life. Furthermore, faith in the unseen encourages an attitude of gratitude and expectancy. When you trust that the unseen is working on your behalf, you begin to express gratitude for everything you already have, as well as for what is on its way. Gratitude amplifies the energy of faith and sends a clear signal to the universe that you are open and receptive to receiving your desires. Expectancy is equally important. By maintaining an attitude of expectancy, you align your energy with the belief that what you desire is already yours, and you prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically to receive it. Faith in the unseen is a transformative force that can change your life in profound ways. It calls you to trust in what you cannot see, to believe in the process of creation, and to surrender control over how things unfold. When you practice this kind of faith, you are not just waiting for things to happen, but you are actively aligning with the unseen forces of the universe to bring your desires into reality. It is the belief that everything is working in your favor, even when you cannot immediately see the results. With unwavering faith, you step into the fullness of your potential, knowing that the unseen is just as real and powerful as the seen. Persistence in vision is the unwavering commitment to seeing your desires, dreams, and goals manifest, no matter what obstacles or challenges arise along the way. It is the ability to hold a clear, vivid image of your ideal life in your mind and continuously move toward it, even when external circumstances may seem discouraging or uncertain. Vision, in this sense, is not simply about having a goal. It is about maintaining a mental picture of that goal with such intensity and belief that nothing can shake your faith in its eventual realization. Persistence in vision is the force that propels you forward, regardless of the setbacks or difficulties you may encounter. At the heart of persistence in vision is the power of imagination. Imagination is the tool that shapes your reality. When you visualize your desired outcome with focus and conviction, you are essentially planting the seeds of that outcome in your subconscious mind. The more vividly you see your vision, the more real it becomes to you. Imagination is not a passive act, it is an active, intentional creation of the life you wish to experience. Through consistent practice of imagining your success, you begin to feel it in every fiber of your being, and this feeling attracts the circumstances, people, and events that align with your vision. This persistence is not a matter of forceful action, but of steady alignment with your vision. When you persist in your vision, you maintain a constant state of mental and emotional alignment with your goal. You continually affirm that what you desire is already yours, even as you take the necessary steps to bring it into physical form. This alignment is key to creating the right conditions for your vision to unfold. It is not about constantly striving or struggling, but about trusting that every thought, feeling, and action aligned with your vision is moving you closer to your desired reality. The power of persistence in vision also lies in its ability to transform your mindset. When you hold a vision of success, abundance, or fulfillment in your mind, it gradually shifts your beliefs and perceptions. You begin to see opportunities instead of obstacles, solutions instead of problems. The more persistent you are in holding your vision, the more your mind will naturally begin to filter out anything that does not align with that vision. You will start to make decisions, take actions, and form relationships that support the manifestation of your goals. This shift in mindset is often subtle but powerful, as it reprograms your subconscious to align with your conscious desires. In the process of persistence in vision, it is important to cultivate patience. While the vision you hold in your mind may be clear and vibrant, the physical manifestation of that vision often takes time. Patience allows you to remain steadfast in your belief, even when the path ahead is unclear or when progress seems slow. Trusting in the timing of the universe and maintaining your vision, regardless of the external pace, is a key aspect of persistence. This trust is rooted in the understanding that everything unfolds in perfect order, even if the process is not immediately visible. Another important aspect of persistence in vision is resilience. The road to any goal is rarely free of obstacles. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. However, persistence means bouncing back from these challenges, not letting them diminish your belief in your vision. Resilience is the ability to continue moving forward in the face of adversity. It is the inner strength that allows you to rise after each fall, with even greater determination and focus. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity for growth and learning, a chance to refine your vision and strengthen your resolve. Persistence in vision also requires a deep sense of commitment. It is not enough to simply wish for something or to have a passing thought of what you would like to achieve. You must commit to the vision, dedicating your mental and emotional energy to it. This commitment involves consistently choosing your vision over distractions, negativity, or doubt. It means making decisions that are in alignment with your goal, even when it requires sacrifice or delayed gratification. Commitment fuels persistence, and with unwavering commitment to your vision, you continue to take inspired action toward your goals, no matter the challenges that arise. Persistence in vision encourages the practice of gratitude. As you continue to focus on your vision, you must be grateful for every step, every experience, and every moment that brings you closer to your desired outcome. Gratitude amplifies the energy of your vision, sending a clear message to the universe that you are ready to receive all that you have imagined. It also keeps you in a positive, receptive state, allowing the flow of abundance and opportunity to reach you more easily. The more grateful you are for the progress you've made, the more you open yourself to receiving the full manifestation of your vision. Persistence in vision is about living as if your vision is already a reality. It is about embodying the feelings, attitudes, and behaviors that are in alignment with the outcome you seek. When you persist in your vision, you are not just working toward a goal, you are already living it in your mind and in your energy. You hold your vision with such certainty and conviction that it cannot help but manifest in your reality. The persistence in your belief, the continued mental focus, and the steady alignment of your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your vision create the conditions for your desires to come into being. When you stop texting and calling a man, something remarkable begins to unfold, not in him first, but in you. You withdraw from the endless pursuit, ceasing to scatter your energy outward. This withdrawal is not an act of punishment, it is a return to your power, to the silent center where your true value resides. You see, when you are constantly reaching out, seeking acknowledgement, you dilute your own presence. You become familiar, predictable, and easily dismissed. But when you stop, a void is created, a void that demands to be filled. And nature abhors a vacuum. Suddenly the man who took your calls and messages for granted begins to feel the weight of your absence. He notices the silence, not as an emptiness, but as a presence that speaks louder than any words could. The law of withdrawal is a principle that can dramatically change the course of your life. It is about reclaiming your energy and withdrawing from situations, relationships, or behaviors that drain you, all without any force or resentment. When you pull back, you create a space in which the energy you previously gave to others, or to the world outside of you, is returned to yourself. This energy is then able to flow within, giving you the power to transform your life from the inside out. Withdrawal is not a withdrawal of love, but a conscious decision to stop seeking external validation and to start cultivating self-empowerment. When you're constantly giving, chasing, or reaching out to others for affirmation, approval, or affection, you are spreading your energy thin. This creates a dynamic where your worth becomes dependent on others and their responses, leaving you with little control over your own life. The law of withdrawal, however, calls you to turn inward, to cease the external search for fulfillment, and to recognize that the love and approval you seek is already within you. The first powerful shift that happens when you practice the law of withdrawal is that you reclaim your power. Too often we give our power away without realizing it, hoping that our actions will cause someone to value us, love us, or recognize our worth. This is common in romantic relationships, but it also happens in friendships, work environments, and other personal interactions. When we stop texting, calling, or chasing after someone to get their attention, we take back control of our energy and our actions. In doing so, we become the one in command of the situation, not from a place of manipulation, but from a place of understanding that you have the choice to direct your attention and energy where you see fit. By pulling back, you also tap into the mystery that naturally exists in any meaningful relationship. When you are always accessible, always responding, always there to be relied upon, you lose your intrigue. There is nothing left to be discovered. But when you create space, when you stop texting and calling, you allow mystery to enter the equation. This is a universal law. Mystery attracts attention. When someone does not know what you are doing or why you are silent, their curiosity is piqued. They begin to wonder what has changed. And this wonder is what draws them back into your orbit. Not because you are playing games or trying to manipulate, but because you are honoring your own needs and energy, which becomes a powerful force that others cannot easily ignore. The law of withdrawal teaches us the value of absence. Absence doesn't just mean physical distance, it means emotional and energetic space. When you stop constantly reaching out, you allow for the other person to miss you, to feel the void you've left behind. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. It's an old saying, but it is rooted in a profound truth. People do not appreciate what they have until it is no longer there. The withdrawal you initiate may create a longing in the other person, not because you have done anything extraordinary, but simply because you have taken the step to honor yourself by stepping back. When you no longer chase, the pursuit is now in their hands. They begin to recognize that you are not someone who is easily available at all times. You are a person who deserves to be valued, respected, and pursued. But the power of withdrawal doesn't lie solely in its effect on others. It's even more profound in the way it impacts you. Withdrawal allows you to reconnect with yourself, to rediscover who you truly are without the distraction of constant interaction and external influences. When you stop seeking outward validation, you begin the journey inward. And this is where true self-discovery begins. You start to focus on your own thoughts, desires, and emotions. You learn to listen to your inner voice, and through this practice you begin to realize that your worth is not something to be given to you by others, it is inherent in who you are. Furthermore, the law of withdrawal cultivates peace and inner fulfillment. Too often we fill the silence with distractions, whether it's through constant communication, social media, or external noise. But in the stillness of withdrawal, there is peace. When you stop texting, calling, or constantly engaging with the world, you can hear your own thoughts more clearly. You can hear your needs, your desires, and your inner wisdom. This practice fosters a deep sense of self-love and self-respect because you are no longer chasing external approval. Instead, you learn to approve of yourself, to nurture your own soul, and to trust that everything you need is already within you. There is also a transformative aspect to the law of withdrawal in how it strengthens your ability to trust in the unseen. Many times when we stop pursuing someone or something, we fear that the situation will fall apart or that we will lose something important. But withdrawal is an act of faith. It is a recognition that there are unseen forces, be they divine, energetic, or simply the natural flow of life, that are working to bring about the right circumstances for us. When you withdraw, you are saying that you trust that the universe will align things in your favor, even if you do not understand how or why. It is the trust that by letting go, you are opening the door for something better to come into your life. The universe works in mysterious ways, and when you step back, you give space for the best possible outcome to unfold. The law of withdrawal is a powerful tool for anyone seeking to reclaim their life, their energy, and their sense of self-worth. It is not about withdrawing in fear, but rather in strength. When you stop chasing, when you stop texting and calling, you create space for the world to come to you. And when that happens, you will realize that you never had to chase at all. Your true worth, your true power, was always within you, waiting for you to recognize it. The power of mystery is an ancient and profound force that plays a central role in both human attraction and personal transformation. Mystery isn't about deception or playing games. It is about creating space for curiosity to thrive, for discovery to unfold, and for others to find something valuable in what remains unseen. When you embody mystery, you create an aura of allure, an intrigue that cannot be replicated by constant exposure or predictability. It is through the art of mystery that we can draw others to us, find deeper connections, and create the conditions for our own personal growth and self-realization. At the core of the power of mystery is the understanding that not everything should be revealed immediately. In our modern world, where access to information is instant and constant, we often feel the pressure to share every detail of our lives, to make ourselves completely transparent. But in doing so, we rob ourselves of the power that mystery provides. We give too much of ourselves away too soon, and in that act of overexposure, we lose the opportunity for others to truly value what we offer. The magic of mystery lies in what is hidden, what is waiting to be discovered. It is the sense that there is more beneath the surface, that there is a deeper layer yet to be uncovered. This is what makes something or someone captivating. It is the unknown that calls out to be explored, the curiosity that urges us to keep seeking. When you practice the power of mystery, you stop oversharing and instead allow others the chance to get to know you over time. It's about leaving something for the imagination, something that cannot be easily explained away or fully grasped in one encounter. Whether it's in relationships, professional settings, or even in personal development, the more you withhold, the more others will want to engage with you. This doesn't mean you should hide your true self, but rather that you reveal yourself piece by piece, offering glimpses rather than full exposure. By doing so, you invite others to step closer, to peel back the layers of your being, and to uncover what makes you unique. The allure of mystery is one of the most powerful forces in human nature. When something or someone holds an element of mystery, it draws people in. This is especially true in relationships. When we stop revealing every thought, every action, and every feeling, we create an energy that compels others to inquire, to ask questions, and to engage with us on a deeper level. It sparks curiosity and creates a sense of anticipation. When people cannot immediately decipher you, they are left wondering about your thoughts, your intentions, your desires. They begin to feel that there is something more to you, something they have yet to fully experience or understand. This is what creates attraction, the desire to know more, to understand the puzzle that you present. This same concept applies to how we relate to ourselves. We are often our own biggest mystery, not because we are hiding anything, but because our inner worlds are vast and complex. The more we allow ourselves to be curious about our own potential, our desires and our feelings, the more we unlock hidden aspects of ourselves. Personal growth comes not from having all the answers, but from exploring the unknown parts of our psyche and allowing them to reveal themselves in their own time. When we embrace our own mystery, we stop limiting ourselves to what we already know and become open to the possibility of discovering new facets of who we are. The power of mystery also creates room for imagination. When we withhold, we allow others to project their thoughts and feelings onto us, and in doing so, we create a space where they can form their own connections to us. This can be an extremely powerful tool in relationships. Rather than presenting a complete picture, we allow others to experience us in fragments, and in the process, they fill in the gaps with their own perceptions. This process can foster a sense of connection and understanding that might not otherwise exist if everything were immediately laid out in front of them. The beauty of this lies in the fact that each person's perception of us is uniquely shaped by their own experiences, their own thoughts, and their own desires. Mystery also plays a significant role in our ability to manifest our desires and shape our future. In many ways, life itself is a mystery, and the more we embrace the unknown, the more we allow life to unfold in unexpected and exciting ways. When we allow space for mystery, we stop trying to control every outcome and instead trust in the unseen forces that guide us. We learn to surrender to the process of life, knowing that there is a greater plan at work, even if we cannot always see it. By stepping into the unknown with faith, we allow ourselves to be open to new opportunities, new relationships, and new experiences that we could never have predicted. This power of mystery also connects us to something larger than ourselves, whether we call it the universe, divine intelligence, or the collective consciousness. It is the understanding that there is much more to life than meets the eye, and that the mysteries of life are there to be embraced, not feared. The more we step into this mysterious flow, the more we are aligned with the natural rhythms of existence. We stop forcing outcomes and instead let life unfold in its own time, knowing that everything we need will be revealed when the time is right. The power of mystery is about creating a balance between revealing enough to spark interest and holding back enough to maintain intrigue. It is about understanding that there is more to you and to life than what is immediately visible. It is about inviting curiosity, allowing discovery, and trusting that the unknown holds beauty, potential, and a deeper connection. By embracing the mystery within yourself and in the world around you, you create a life that is ever evolving, full of wonder, and continuously unfolding into something more profound. Self-worth is silent, not in the sense of passivity or being unheard, but rather in the quiet strength that emanates when you truly know your value without needing to announce it to the world. True self-worth doesn't demand attention or validation from others. It is a deep inner knowing that transcends external circumstances, judgments, or comparisons. It is an energy that silently radiates from within, regardless of whether anyone acknowledges it. This kind of self-worth is not dependent on approval or admiration, and it doesn't require external recognition. Instead, it stands firm in the knowledge that you are enough, simply by being who you are. In a world that often places so much emphasis on outward appearances, achievements, and the opinions of others, it can be easy to forget the silent power of self-worth. We often find ourselves chasing validation, trying to prove our worthiness through accomplishments, social media likes, or even the opinions of people we don't know. But this outward pursuit is draining and ultimately hollow. It's a cycle that never truly satisfies the inner longing for validation, because it is built on external sources that are fleeting, changing, and often unreliable. Self-worth, on the other hand, does not depend on any of these things. It is a quiet, unwavering belief that we are valuable regardless of what anyone else says or does. When you have true self-worth, you no longer feel the need to explain yourself to others. There is no need for justification, no need to defend your actions, your decisions, or your worth. You are comfortable in your own skin, with your own choices, because you have come to a place of inner understanding that you are enough. This silence is not born of insecurity, but of strength. It is the power of knowing that your value is inherent, and not subject to the whims of anyone else's perception. When you stop seeking validation from others, you start to tap into an authentic power that needs no external reinforcement. Your self-worth becomes a solid foundation on which you can build the life you truly desire. This quiet sense of worth also allows you to set boundaries that are rooted in self-respect, not fear or self-doubt. When you understand your value, you recognize that you deserve respect, love, and kindness. You no longer tolerate disrespect or mistreatment, because you know that you are worthy of better. There is no need for loud proclamations or dramatic gestures when you have established this silent understanding of yourself. Your actions speak volumes. Your presence commands respect, not because you demand it from others, but because you have cultivated a sense of self-respect so strong that others cannot help but acknowledge it. Self-worth also allows for a sense of peace and contentment that comes from within. In a world that constantly pushes us to strive for more success, more possessions, more recognition, it is easy to get caught in the never-ending chase. But when you know your worth, you can step off this treadmill of external achievement and find peace in simply being. You recognize that you are not what you have, what you do, or what others think of you. You are not defined by your job title, your bank balance, or the number of followers you have. Your worth is not something that can be measured by these external markers. It is something intrinsic, something that can't be taken away. This peace that comes with self-worth doesn't mean that you are complacent or stop striving for your goals. On the contrary, when you know your value, you are more likely to pursue your passions with focus and clarity. You no longer do things out of desperation or a need for approval, but out of a desire to fulfill your own potential and to express the gifts you've been given. You become less concerned with competition, comparison, and the opinions of others. Your journey is your own, and the only person you need to impress is yourself. You learn to celebrate your achievements, no matter how big or small, because you know that they are a reflection of your growth, not of anyone's validation. Another important aspect of silent self-worth is how it affects the way you relate to others. When you know your worth, you attract people who recognize and honor it. You no longer settle for relationships or situations that drain your energy or undermine your sense of self. The right people will be drawn to your quiet confidence, your ability to stand firm in your own truth, and your genuine respect for others. You create an environment where mutual respect, love, and understanding can thrive. You are no longer seeking approval or validation from others, which means you are free to engage in relationships based on authenticity, rather than neediness or insecurity. This shift allows you to form deeper, more meaningful connections, where you are loved and valued for who you truly are. The silence of self-worth is also transformative when it comes to failure or setbacks. Many people tie their sense of value to their success or accomplishments, believing that they are only worthy if they are winning, achieving, or meeting societal standards. But when your self-worth is silent, it is not shaken by failure. You understand that failure is a part of the journey, a lesson to be learned, not a reflection of your inherent worth. You no longer tie your sense of self to external outcomes. Instead, you take each experience, good or bad, as an opportunity to grow without questioning your value as a person. The power of self-worth lies in its quiet resilience. It is a strength that cannot be easily rattled or taken away. It does not require external validation or loud declarations. It is a steady knowing, a calm confidence that comes from within, and it is the foundation upon which you can build a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. When you truly understand your worth, you no longer need to prove it to anyone. You simply embody it in every action, every thought, and every word. And in doing so, you create a life that reflects the quiet, powerful truth of who you truly are. Reclaiming the throne is a metaphorical journey of rediscovering and asserting one's inherent power, authority, and right to live a life of purpose and fulfillment. It is the process of taking back what is rightfully yours, your sense of self, your confidence, and your sovereignty over your own life. Life may have challenged you, and external circumstances may have led you to doubt your worth or potential. But reclaiming the throne is about overcoming those struggles and stepping back into your true power. It is about remembering who you are, asserting your place in the world, and refusing to allow external forces to dictate your path. At some point in our lives, we may all find ourselves feeling like we've lost our seat of power. Whether it's through relationships that have drained us, failures that have humbled us, or negative circumstances that have shaped our beliefs, we may begin to doubt our abilities or lose touch with our inner strength. But the throne is always there, waiting to be reclaimed. It never truly left, it was simply abandoned for a time. Reclaiming it is not about seeking external validation or approval, but about turning inward and rediscovering the untapped potential that lies within. Reclaiming the throne starts with acknowledging your own worth. You must first recognize that you are worthy of the life you desire, the love you deserve, and the success you seek. And so often people allow external opinions, past failures, or societal expectations to convince them that they are not enough. They shrink in the presence of others, doubt their abilities, and relinquish their dreams because they believe they are unworthy. But this belief is a lie. You are not defined by the setbacks or struggles you faced. Your worth is inherent and immutable. To reclaim the throne, you must step out of the shadow of self-doubt and into the light of self-empowerment. This requires shedding the limiting beliefs that have held you back and embracing the truth that you have always been capable of greatness. The act of reclaiming the throne is also about setting boundaries and refusing to tolerate anything less than what you deserve. For many, this is one of the most difficult steps in the journey. We often allow others to overstep our boundaries, whether it's in relationships, work, or even with our own inner dialogue. We let the demands of others dictate how we spend our time, energy, and resources. We neglect ourselves in favor of pleasing others or seeking their approval. But when you reclaim your throne, you stop giving your power away. You begin to set clear boundaries and communicate your needs and desires with confidence. You no longer allow others to dictate your worth or decide how much space you should occupy in the world. Your throne is yours to claim, and you will not let anyone take it from you. The throne is also about embracing your uniqueness. You are not here to be a copy of someone else or to conform to society's standards of success or happiness. The throne you are meant to sit on is uniquely yours, and it requires you to step fully into your authentic self. This means releasing the need to compare yourself to others, to chase after what everyone else is doing, or to seek approval from the outside world. When you reclaim your throne, you do so on your own terms, embracing your individuality and recognizing that your path is one that only you can walk. This is the essence of true sovereignty, to be in complete alignment with who you are, not who others expect you to be. Another key element of reclaiming the throne is forgiving yourself and letting go of past regrets. Many people struggle with the weight of past mistakes, failures, or missed opportunities. These experiences can create a heavy burden, making it feel as though you are unworthy or incapable of achieving your goals. However, no one is perfect, and everyone makes mistakes along the way. The process of reclaiming your throne involves forgiving yourself for your past missteps and understanding that they do not define you. They are simply lessons on the journey. By releasing the grip of past regret, you free yourself to step into your true power and move forward with renewed purpose and clarity. The throne is also an act of trust in yourself and trust in the universe. There will always be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But when you trust yourself, you trust that you are capable of overcoming anything that comes your way. You trust that your inner wisdom, your intuition, and your resilience will guide you through life's obstacles. You also trust that the universe has a plan for you, and that everything you have experienced, both the good and the bad, has led you to this moment of reclamation. Trust is the fuel that drives the journey forward, propelling you to move past fear and uncertainty and to claim what is yours with confidence. Reclaiming the throne is not a one-time event, it is an ongoing process. Life will continue to present challenges, and the pull of external influences may always try to convince you to relinquish your power. But each time you assert your boundaries, remember your worth, and embrace your unique path, you strengthen your position on the throne. You become more resolute in your self-belief, more confident in your decisions, and more steadfast in your vision for your life. The throne is not something that can be taken away from you once you reclaim it. It is yours to sit upon for as long as you choose. Reclaiming the throne is about stepping into your full potential and living a life that reflects your true worth. It is about letting go of the limitations that have held you back and embracing the power that has always been within you. When you take your rightful place, you begin to create a life that is in alignment with your deepest desires, a life that is authentic, fulfilling, and empowered. The throne is yours for the taking. Reclaim it and begin to live the life you were always meant to lead. Energy flows where attention goes. This simple but profound concept reveals the deep connection between our focus and the results we experience in life. The energy that we put into something, whether it's a thought, a task, or a goal, is the energy that grows. Our attention, the spotlight of our awareness, directs where our energy will flow, and therefore it determines what we manifest in our lives. Whether we are aware of it or not, we are constantly creating through the energy we direct with our thoughts, feelings, and actions. When we place our attention on something, we are essentially feeding it with our energy. This energy can take many forms, including our emotions, our thoughts, and our actions. For example, when we focus on negative thoughts or worries, we are pouring our energy into those concerns, and as a result, we attract more of what we fear or dread. On the other hand, when we focus on positive thoughts, gratitude, and optimism, we are directing our energy into these more constructive aspects, which naturally leads to more positive experiences. This is not just an abstract idea, it's a fundamental law of how the universe operates. Like a magnet, our attention draws similar energies toward us, and as a result, our reality reflects what we focus on most. In life, we often get distracted by external circumstances or negative thoughts that pull our attention away from what we truly desire. These distractions can feel overwhelming, and it can seem like we have no control over where our energy goes. But the truth is, we always have the power to choose where to direct our attention. It's easy to focus on problems, challenges, or what is not working. But by doing so, we only strengthen those things in our lives. Instead, we can choose to shift our focus to solutions, possibilities, and the positive aspects of our situation, thereby allowing the energy to flow toward growth and improvement. The practice of mindfulness is one way to bring awareness to where our attention goes. By consciously paying attention to our thoughts and feelings, we can catch ourselves when we begin to focus on the negative or unproductive. Mindfulness allows us to redirect our attention and energy, empowering us to make more intentional choices. It's a practice that encourages us to step back from the chaos of life and observe the patterns in our thoughts. In doing so, we become more aware of how much energy we waste on things that don't serve us, and we can consciously choose to invest that energy in pursuits that align with our highest good. Our relationships are another area where the principle of energy flows, where attention goes holds significant meaning. If we direct our attention toward understanding, appreciation, and connection with others, the energy in those relationships grows, and so does the bond between us. However, if our attention is consumed with judgment, resentment, or criticism, those relationships tend to deteriorate. In any interaction, our energy is influenced by where we place our attention. When we choose to listen attentively, show empathy, and invest in positive communication, the relationship becomes stronger and more fulfilling. On the other hand, when we focus on flaws, disagreements, or negative aspects, the energy in the relationship becomes heavy and strained. The same principle applies to our goals and ambitions. What we focus on expands. If we focus on our goals with clarity and intention, we naturally begin to take actions that align with them. The energy we invest in our dreams, whether it's through planning, visualization, or consistent effort, multiplies, propelling us closer to what we want to achieve. On the other hand, if we spend our time doubting ourselves, worrying about potential failure, or focusing on obstacles, our energy is drained, and the progress toward our goals slows or halts altogether. In order to manifest what we desire, we must direct our attention to the end result, to the feelings and thoughts that support our vision, and to the small steps that will take us closer to our dreams. In the context of self-care, this idea also plays a pivotal role. Many people neglect their own well-being because they are distracted by the demands of life or the needs of others. Their attention is constantly going outward, leaving little energy for themselves. However, when we direct our attention inward and prioritize self-care, whether it's through rest, reflection, healthy habits, or pursuing passions that bring us joy, we direct energy toward nurturing ourselves. This creates a cycle of replenishment, where the more energy we give to ourselves, the more we have to give to others and to our goals. By shifting our focus inward, we recharge our physical, emotional, and mental health, which in turn enhances every other area of our life. Our environment also responds to where we direct our energy. Whether it's the physical spaces we inhabit or the people we surround ourselves with, the energy of our surroundings reflects the energy we put into them. When we place our attention on creating a peaceful, organized, and uplifting space, the environment around us shifts and we experience a greater sense of harmony. If we neglect the energy in our environment, whether it's through clutter, disorganization, or toxic relationships, we begin to feel drained, stressed, or stagnant. The principle is clear: energy flows where attention goes, and our surroundings are no different. In times of adversity or challenge, it becomes even more crucial to be mindful of where we place our attention. It's easy to get lost in the struggle, to feel overwhelmed by difficulties, but by consciously shifting our attention to solutions, gratitude, and opportunities, we change the flow of energy. This shift doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means consciously choosing to focus on what you can control, what you can learn from the situation, and how you can grow through the challenge. When we focus on the opportunities within adversity, we begin to notice them and start to take empowered action. Energy truly flows where attention goes. The universe responds to our focus, amplifying whatever we give our energy to. By being mindful of where we place our attention, we can consciously create a reality that reflects our desires, dreams, and highest potential. Whether it's in our relationships, careers, or personal growth, we have the power to choose where to direct our energy, and in doing so, we shape the world around us. The key is awareness, intentionality, and understanding the profound impact of where we place our focus. When we choose to direct our attention toward positive, empowering thoughts, goals, and actions, the energy flows in a way that serves our highest good. Absence makes the heart seek. This timeless expression holds a deep truth about human nature and relationships. It speaks to the powerful effect that distance and separation have on our emotions, desires, and connections. When we are separated from someone or something we care about, a void is created, one that stirs an intense longing within us. This absence often acts as a catalyst for introspection, personal growth, and even deeper appreciation for what is missing. The heart, in its pursuit of fulfillment, naturally seeks what is absent, drawing us toward the very things we may take for granted when they are within reach. At its core, the concept of absence making the heart seek is rooted in the emotional dynamics of longing and desire. When we are constantly surrounded by the people, experiences, or things that we value, we can become complacent. We may not fully appreciate their presence until they are no longer around. It is only in the absence of someone or something that we realize how much it truly means to us. This absence creates an emotional void that triggers our hearts to seek what has been lost or what is missing, pushing us to recognize the value of what we had and to pursue it once more. This phenomenon is not just limited to romantic relationships, although it is often most apparent in such contexts. In any relationship, be it familial, friendship, or romantic, the presence of the other person provides a sense of comfort, security, and belonging. When that person is absent, whether due to physical distance, emotional separation, or any form of disconnection, the absence can feel overwhelming. The heart begins to seek that connection again, and this yearning can lead to personal reflection and growth. The absence makes us question why the relationship mattered, what it brought to our lives, and how we can better nurture those bonds when they are present again. It is in the absence of someone we love that we may also discover the depth of our own feelings. We might not recognize how deeply we care until the person is not there to share in the moments of daily life. The heart's longing can serve as a reminder of the emotional importance of that individual, and in turn it offers an opportunity for growth in how we express and cherish our emotions. Often the absence creates a space for us to reflect on how we want to show up in the relationship moving forward, and how we might be more present and appreciative when the other person returns. This principle also extends to the things we pursue in life. We may take certain experiences, achievements, or dreams for granted when they are easily accessible. However, once those opportunities are out of reach, whether by circumstance, limitation, or change, we begin to truly appreciate their value. The absence of these opportunities sparks the heart to seek again, to reach toward new possibilities and rediscover passions that may have been forgotten or overlooked. The heart longs for what it once had or for what it has yet to experience. It pushes us to pursue new ventures, to reignite old dreams, and to take action on what was once only a distant hope. Absence also brings clarity. It provides a contrast that allows us to see things more clearly. When we have too much of something, it can become routine or even burdensome. But when we experience a loss or a gap in our lives, we are forced to evaluate the role that particular person, experience, or thing played in our lives. What we thought we could live without suddenly becomes something we crave. This clarity is often accompanied by a sense of appreciation for the things we had taken for granted. We are reminded of how important it is to make the most of what is currently within our reach, and to treasure the relationships and experiences that bring us joy. There is also an aspect of self-discovery that comes with the absence of something or someone important. The longing that emerges in such moments often reveals unmet needs, desires, and personal aspirations. It is in the absence that we may confront parts of ourselves that we were not fully aware of before. The heart's search is not just for the other person or the external circumstances, but also for deeper fulfillment within ourselves. In some cases, the absence of a person or situation may illuminate what we truly need in order to grow, heal, or evolve. It acts as a mirror, reflecting what is lacking or what has been hidden beneath the surface. But absence can also foster a sense of appreciation for the present moment. When we are no longer able to be with someone or engage in a particular experience, we may realize how precious those moments were. The heart's desire to seek what is absent often brings a deeper understanding of the fleeting nature of time and the importance of embracing the present. It teaches us to cherish what we have, to be present in the moment, and to express gratitude for the people and experiences that shape our lives. The heart's longing in absence can also be a source of inspiration and motivation. Often it sparks a drive to reconnect, to rebuild, or to pursue new opportunities. The yearning for something lost or unattainable drives us to act, to seek fulfillment, and to move forward. It is the fuel for change, pushing us to take steps we might have hesitated to take before. Absence, in its way, acts as a catalyst for transformation, prompting us to search for new paths, rekindle old connections, or rediscover forgotten passions. Absence is not always a negative force. While it may bring pain, longing, and heartache, it also brings growth, clarity, and understanding. It encourages the heart to seek what is lost, to appreciate what is truly valuable, and to discover new aspects of ourselves. It invites us to reflect on what we truly desire, to understand our own needs, and to pursue deeper connections with both ourselves and others. Absence, in its silent power, is a reminder that love, longing, and desire are forces that guide us toward greater self-awareness, connection, and fulfillment. The heart's search, fueled by absence, leads us to the realization that what we seek is often the key to unlocking our truest potential. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to get swept away by external distractions, work, relationships, social expectations, and the constant demands of technology. Our attention often shifts outward, causing us to neglect the one thing that can profoundly shape our reality, our inner world. Yet our external circumstances are merely reflections of our internal state. What we experience in the physical world is directly influenced by the thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that reside within us. To truly transform our lives, we must first learn to focus on our inner world. The inner world is the realm of our thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and perceptions. It is where we hold our true essence and the source of all our experiences. Everything we encounter in life is filtered through the lens of our inner world. Our reactions to events, people, and situations are all shaped by how we internally interpret the world around us. If we want to create lasting change, we must start by looking within, becoming aware of the thoughts that dominate our minds, and questioning the beliefs that dictate our actions. At the heart of focusing on your inner world is the idea of self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability to observe and understand your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment. It involves stepping back and looking at yourself from a place of neutrality, as if you were an outsider. This practice allows you to notice patterns in your thinking, emotions, and actions, and gives you the power to choose how to respond to life's challenges rather than reacting impulsively. By cultivating self-awareness, you can break free from automatic behaviors and start making conscious choices that align with your true desires and goals. Another essential aspect of focusing on your inner world is the power of self-talk. The way we speak to ourselves shapes our self-esteem, confidence, and sense of worth. If our inner dialogue is filled with negativity, self-doubt, or criticism, we begin to believe these thoughts as truths. Our inner narrative directly impacts how we perceive ourselves and how we show up in the world. Conversely, when we replace negative self-talk with affirmations of self-love, gratitude, and encouragement, we begin to reprogram our subconscious mind. Positive self-talk fosters a sense of empowerment, resilience, and trust in our abilities, which is essential for navigating life's challenges with grace and determination. Focusing on your inner world also means cultivating a healthy relationship with your emotions. Emotions are powerful indicators of where we are in life and what we are experiencing. However, many of us have been taught to suppress or ignore our feelings in favor of maintaining control or pleasing others. In doing so, we deny ourselves the opportunity to fully process and understand our emotions. Emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions, is a key skill for living a balanced life. When we focus on our inner world, we give ourselves permission to feel all emotions, both positive and negative, without judgment. This creates a deeper sense of emotional freedom, allowing us to release pent-up feelings and heal from past wounds. Taking responsibility for your inner world is also a crucial step in the process. Often we tend to blame external circumstances for our unhappiness or dissatisfaction. We may believe that if only the world would change, or if others would behave differently, we would be happy. However, true empowerment comes from recognizing that we have the power to change our inner world, regardless of what is happening around us. By taking ownership of our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we reclaim our power and begin to shape the life we desire from the inside out. There is a profound power that exists beyond the limits of our understanding, a force that governs the ebb and flow of our lives, orchestrating circumstances, people, and events in ways that often seem beyond our control. This force is the universe. Many of us try to shape and manipulate our lives, exerting control over every detail, thinking that we must do everything ourselves in order to manifest our desires. But the truth is, when we learn to let the universe work, we open ourselves to the flow of life's magic and abundance. We allow the natural rhythm of existence to guide us toward the experiences, opportunities, and outcomes that are truly meant for us. The idea of letting the universe work is rooted in the belief that there is a higher intelligence at play, one that is always conspiring in our favor, even if we don't always see the immediate results. We live in a world of infinite possibility, where the universe has an uncanny way of bringing the right circumstances to us when we are in alignment with our desires and intentions. The key is to trust the process, to have faith that things will unfold in their own time, and to stop trying to force outcomes that may not be in our highest good. One of the first steps in allowing the universe to work is to let go of the need for control. We are often conditioned to believe that success, happiness, and fulfillment come from exerting control over every aspect of our lives. We believe that we must plan every move, direct every action, and manage every outcome. While action and intention are important, constantly trying to micromanage the details of our lives can create unnecessary stress and block the flow of energy. When we release the need to control, we open ourselves to receiving in ways that we may not have expected. Letting go of control also means surrendering to uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes things don't go according to plan. We may face setbacks, challenges, or detours on our journey. However, these are often not signs of failure, but rather part of the universe's process of guiding us to the right path. When we let go of the need to predict every outcome, we free ourselves from the anxiety and frustration of trying to force things to happen. Instead, we allow space for serendipity, unexpected opportunities, and synchronicities to enter our lives. By embracing uncertainty, we trust that the universe will lead us where we need to go. Another crucial aspect of letting the universe work is practicing patience. In a world where instant gratification is often the norm, it can be challenging to trust that things are unfolding in their own time. We live in an era where everything is available at the touch of a button, but not everything in life works this way. Some desires take time to manifest. Whether it's a career change, a relationship, or personal growth, things often need to align and evolve at their own pace. When we learn to be patient and trust in divine timing, we allow the universe to work behind the scenes, orchestrating events in ways we cannot always see or understand. Patience is not about passively waiting for things to happen. It's about remaining in a state of trust and openness while continuing to take inspired action. The universe may be working on our behalf, but we still have a role to play in the process. We must align ourselves with the frequency of our desires, and this requires effort. This could mean taking steps towards our goals, shifting our mindset, or simply being open to receiving what is coming our way. But we do so with the understanding that, in the grand scheme of things, the universe is orchestrating the details in ways that are far beyond our limited vision. Another key to allowing the universe to work is to release attachment to the outcome. Often we become fixated on a specific outcome or timeline, believing that if we don't achieve our goals in a particular way or at a particular time, we have failed. However, when we attach too strongly to a specific result, we may inadvertently block the flow of energy that could bring us something even better. The universe works in mysterious ways, and what we think we want may not always be what is best for us. By releasing attachment to the outcome, we create space for the universe to deliver what we truly need, which may be different from what we initially envisioned. This is where the power of faith comes in. Faith is not about blind belief in something without evidence, but rather a deep trust in the process of life itself. It's knowing that, even when things seem unclear or uncertain, everything is happening for a reason. It's trusting that the universe has a plan for us, even when we cannot see the full picture. Faith allows us to remain hopeful and open, even when faced with challenges. It empowers us to continue moving forward, knowing that the right opportunities, people, and circumstances will present themselves at the right time. The universe responds to our energy, and the more we align ourselves with the energy of trust, gratitude, and abundance, the more the universe will bring us what we desire. Gratitude is a powerful tool for attracting more of what we want. When we appreciate what we already have, we signal to the universe that we are open to receiving even more. This shift in mindset transforms our energy, making us magnetic to the very things we seek. Gratitude helps us focus on the present moment, allowing us to see the blessings that are already present in our lives. In doing so, we create space for more of these blessings to flow into our experience. The idea of letting the universe work also involves staying in alignment with our authentic selves. Often we get caught up in societal expectations, other people's opinions, or the pursuit of superficial goals. But when we focus on what truly resonates with our soul, we align ourselves with the universe's greater plan for our lives. When we are true to ourselves, we attract experiences and people that are in harmony with our values, desires, and purpose. The universe works best when we are in alignment with our deepest truth, and this requires listening to our inner guidance and intuition. Letting the universe work is about trusting in the law of attraction, like attracts like. When we align ourselves with the energy of abundance, love, and joy, we attract more of the same into our lives. The universe responds to our vibration, and by maintaining a positive, optimistic outlook, we invite greater prosperity, happiness, and fulfillment into our reality. Letting the universe work is about surrendering to the flow of life, trusting in divine timing, and allowing the natural forces of the universe to guide us toward what we desire. It's about releasing the need for control, practicing patience, and maintaining faith that everything is unfolding as it should. When we let go and trust, we make space for the universe to bring us the perfect outcomes, in the perfect timing, and in ways that exceed our expectations. Through this trust, we tap into the infinite power of the universe, creating the life we were always meant to live. In conclusion, the key to transforming our lives and manifesting our desires lies in learning to trust the process and letting the universe work. By surrendering control, embracing patience, and releasing attachment to specific outcomes, we create space for divine timing and unseen forces to guide us toward the perfect circumstances. Faith in the universe's plan, combined with alignment to our true selves, opens the door to infinite possibilities, allowing us to attract the right experiences, people, and opportunities into our lives. The universe is always working on your behalf, and when you trust and allow it to unfold, you align yourself with the flow of life's abundant energy. So let go of the need to micromanage every detail, stay open to what's coming, and allow the universe to surprise you with its infinite wisdom. Thank you for listening. And may you embrace the power of letting the universe work in your life. At 3 in the morning, when the world is still and silence envelops the earth, there lies a sacred opportunity. It is in this stillness that the divine whispers, and your soul becomes attuned to the eternal truths of life. If you find yourself awake at this hour, know that it is no accident. It is a calling, an invitation to step into communion with the infinite. Close your eyes and center yourself. Feel the quiet embrace of this moment. Say within, I am thankful for the blessings I have, and the blessings yet unseen. I am one with the Creator, and all that I desire is already mine. Speak these words with the conviction of one who knows the truth. Feel the gratitude swell in your heart, as if your prayer has already been answered. Picture yourself in possession of what you seek. See it, feel it, live it in your imagination. This is not mere wishful thinking, it is the act of creation itself. As you pray, release every worry and doubt. Trust that the divine is working through you, aligning the unseen forces of the universe to bring your desires to life. This trust is the key that unlocks all doors. Say to yourself, I let go of all fear and trust in the perfect timing of life. The still hour of 3 a.m. is a bridge between the conscious and the eternal. Use it wisely. Speak your prayer with faith, feel it with love, and let the universe carry it forth. What you seek is seeking you, and in this sacred moment, you are one with its manifestation. In the quiet embrace of the early morning, when the clock strikes 3 and the world is wrapped in slumber, there exists a moment of profound significance. This is the still hour, a time untouched by the chaos of the day, when the mind is free from the incessant demands of the external world. It is a sacred interval, one that offers a gateway to the deeper realms of the self and the divine. Many dismiss these moments of wakefulness as mere interruptions of sleep, yet they are far more than that. They are invitations to enter the silence within, where the truest power resides. At this hour, the noise of the world is hushed, and even the air feels different. There is an unmistakable stillness, a tangible peace that envelops everything. This quiet is not merely external, it mirrors the quiet within. It is as if the universe itself pauses, creating a perfect space for reflection, prayer, and connection with the infinite. In this stillness, distractions fade and clarity begins to emerge. The questions that seemed so pressing during the day lose their urgency, and answers that eluded you start to unfold effortlessly. This is the time when the conscious mind loosens its grip, and the subconscious becomes more accessible. The barriers between the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown, grow thinner. It is no coincidence that many great spiritual practices emphasize the power of prayer or meditation during the early morning hours. This is when the veil between you and the divine is at its thinnest, making it the perfect time to align yourself with the higher vibrations of love, peace, and creation. If you find yourself awake at this hour, resist the urge to see it as a disturbance. Instead, view it as a sacred calling, a reminder that you are more than your physical existence. You have been given a rare moment to commune with the essence of who you truly are. Sit in stillness and let your thoughts settle like sediment in a glass of water. As the agitation ceases, clarity will emerge, and the true nature of your being will shine through. Use this time to turn inward, to quiet the endless chatter of the mind. Breathe deeply and slowly, allowing each inhale to draw you closer to the present moment, and each exhale to release the weight of yesterday. In this space of presence, the power of the still hour begins to reveal itself. You start to realize that the answers you seek do not come from outside of you, they come from within. The still hour is not about asking for more, but about recognizing that everything you need is already here. Prayer during this hour takes on a unique quality. It is not the hurried, half-hearted prayer often offered in times of stress, but a prayer that rises from the depths of your soul. It is a conversation with the divine, spoken not in words but in feelings. This is the time to express gratitude for the blessings in your life and the blessings yet to come. Gratitude opens the door to abundance, for when you give thanks as if your desires have already been fulfilled, you align yourself with the energy of manifestation. This is also the hour of vision. Close your eyes and imagine the life you wish to create. See it vividly, as if it is already yours. Feel the joy, the peace, the fulfillment that comes with it. This act of visualization is not a mere daydream, it is a powerful act of creation. In the still hour, your mind becomes the fertile ground, and your thoughts the seeds that will grow into your reality. What you plant here will take root and flourish in the days and weeks to come. But perhaps the greatest gift of the still hour is the opportunity to let go. In the silence, you are reminded that you do not have to control everything. The universe operates with perfect order and timing, and your role is not to force but to flow. As you sit in the quiet, let go of your worries, your fears, and your doubts. Trust that the same power that keeps the stars in the sky and the planets in their orbits is working in your life as well. Surrender to this truth, and you will find a peace that surpasses all understanding. When the still hour passes and the first light of dawn begins to break, you will feel a renewed sense of clarity and purpose. The moments spent in silence and communion will have left their mark, and you will carry their peace into the day ahead. The still hour is not just a time of reflection, it is a time of transformation. It is in these moments of stillness that the seeds of greatness are sown, and the foundation for a life of fulfillment is laid. So, if you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., embrace it. Step into the stillness with an open heart and a quiet mind. Allow the power of this sacred hour to envelop you, to guide you, and to transform you. For it is in the stillness that the divine speaks, and in the silence that you will hear the truth of who you are. In the quiet hours of the night, when the world is still and your mind drifts between wakefulness and slumber, you stand at the gate of the subconscious mind. This is a realm of infinite possibility, where thoughts and beliefs take form, shaping the fabric of your reality. The subconscious mind is not bound by the constraints of logic or the rigid structures of the conscious mind. It is fluid, creative, and deeply powerful. To access this realm is to hold the key to transformation, for the subconscious is the seat of all creation. The gate to the subconscious is most open in moments of stillness, especially during the early hours of the morning when distractions are few, and the chatter of the conscious mind begins to fade. At this time, your brain waves naturally shift to a state of relaxation, entering the borderlands of the subconscious. Here, the mind is malleable, receptive, and ready to absorb impressions. What you think, feel, and imagine in these moments sinks deeply into the subconscious, becoming the blueprint for your future experiences. Many underestimate the power of their subconscious mind, thinking it a passive storehouse for memories and habits. But the truth is far more profound. The subconscious is not merely reactive, it is the engine of creation. Every belief you hold, every fear you nurture, and every desire you cherish is housed in this vast inner realm. And the subconscious does not judge or filter, it accepts as truth whatever is impressed upon it, whether through repetitive thought, deep emotion, or vivid imagination. To approach the gate of the subconscious mind, you must first understand its language. Unlike the conscious mind, which relies on logic and words, the subconscious speaks in feelings, images, and symbols. This is why visualization is so effective. It bypasses the analytical faculties of the conscious mind and speaks directly to the subconscious. When you vividly imagine a scene and infuse it with emotion, the subconscious accepts it as real and begins to align the circumstances of your life to match this internal vision. Consider this: every habit you have, every automatic response, and even the way you perceive yourself and the world are all rooted in your subconscious mind. These patterns were not formed overnight. They are the result of repeated thoughts and experiences that have been etched into the subconscious over time. But just as these patterns were created, they can be altered. So, the gate to the subconscious mind is always open, waiting for you to consciously shape its contents. One of the most effective ways to access the subconscious is through prayer or affirmation, spoken with conviction and feeling during moments of stillness. When you speak words of truth and possibility, and when you feel them deeply, they bypass the conscious mind and take root in the subconscious. For instance, saying, "I am abundant," with genuine belief and gratitude plants the seed of abundance in the fertile soil of the subconscious. Over time, this seed grows, manifesting as tangible experiences of prosperity in your life. Yet, accessing the subconscious is not merely about implanting positive thoughts, it is also about uprooting the weeds of doubt and fear that may have taken hold. The subconscious does not distinguish between helpful and harmful beliefs, it simply reflects what has been consistently impressed upon it. This is why becoming aware of your thoughts and emotions is so crucial. The conscious mind serves as the gatekeeper, deciding what is allowed to pass into the subconscious. If you catch yourself dwelling on negativity or entertaining self-defeating beliefs, you have the power to change the narrative. Replace these thoughts with affirmations of truth, beauty, and possibility, and watch as the subconscious begins to align with your higher intentions. The power of the subconscious mind is amplified by repetition. Just as a river carves a path through rock over time, repeated impressions carve new pathways in the subconscious. This is why consistent prayer, affirmation, or visualization is so effective. Each repetition strengthens the new belief, making it a dominant force in your inner world. And as your inner world changes, so too does your outer reality, for the subconscious is always working to bring into physical form that which it holds as true. It is important to approach the gate to the subconscious mind with reverence and intentionality. This is not a place for idle thoughts or fleeting desires. It is a sacred space where the seeds of your destiny are planted. Treat it as such, and you will find that the subconscious responds with profound creativity and intelligence. It will guide you, inspire you, and bring into your life opportunities and solutions that seem almost miraculous. In the stillness of the night, when the veil between the conscious and subconscious is thin, you have the power to shape your reality in ways that defy logic. The gate to the subconscious mind is always open, but it is your conscious choice that determines what passes through. Approach it with faith, clarity, and love, and you will unlock the limitless potential that resides within you. This is the secret to transformation, the understanding that the outer world is but a reflection of the inner, and that the subconscious mind is the bridge between the two. When it comes to prayer, words are often seen as the most important aspect. Yet, the true power of prayer lies not in the words spoken, but in the feelings they evoke. It is the feeling behind the prayer that gives it life, that connects it to the unseen forces shaping your reality. Without feeling, prayer is little more than empty recitation, a hollow act that fails to touch the depths of your being. But when infused with genuine emotion, prayer becomes a transformative force, capable of bridging the gap between desire and manifestation. To pray effectively is to feel deeply. It is not enough to ask for what you want, you must feel as though your prayer has already been answered. This is the essence of faith, not hoping for a distant outcome, but embodying the reality of your desire in the present moment. When you pray with feeling, you align your inner world with the reality you seek, and in doing so, you set the wheels of creation in motion. Consider for a moment the power of gratitude. When you pray with a sense of heartfelt gratitude, you are not merely asking for blessings, you are affirming that they already exist. Gratitude is a profound acknowledgement of the abundance already present in your life, and it creates a vibrational match for even greater blessings to flow to you. Imagine praying for healing, not with desperation, but with a feeling of joy and relief, as though the healing has already occurred. This shift in feeling transforms your prayer from a request into a declaration of truth, and it is this truth that the universe responds to. Feeling is the language of the subconscious mind, the creative powerhouse within you. Unlike the conscious mind, which deals in logic and analysis, the subconscious responds to emotion and imagery. When you pray with feeling, you bypass the barriers of doubt and disbelief that often reside in the conscious mind. Your emotions become the vehicle that carries your prayer to the depths of the subconscious, where it takes root and begins to shape your reality. This is why it is essential to cultivate the right emotional state when you pray. If your prayer is filled with fear, worry, or lack, those feelings will be impressed upon your subconscious, perpetuating the very conditions you wish to escape. Instead, approach prayer with feelings of love, peace, and confidence. Feel the joy of already having what you desire, the relief of knowing that your needs are met, and the serenity of trusting in the divine order of the universe. Visualization can be a powerful tool to evoke the feeling of prayer. Close your eyes and picture yourself in the reality you wish to create. See it vividly, as though it is happening right now. Feel the emotions that this reality would bring, whether it is the warmth of love, the security of abundance, or the vitality of health. Let these feelings wash over you as you pray, for they are the substance of your faith. The stronger the emotion, the more powerfully your prayer is impressed upon the subconscious and the universe. Another important aspect of feeling in prayer is the state of surrender. True prayer is not about striving or forcing, it is about letting go and trusting. When you pray with feeling, you must also release any attachment to the outcome. Feel the joy of having your desire fulfilled, and then let it go, trusting that it is already on its way. This act of surrender signals your faith in the process and allows the divine forces to work unhindered. Holding on to doubt or anxiety only creates resistance, blocking the flow of blessings into your life. The feeling of the prayer is also a form of alignment. When you pray with the right feelings, you align yourself with the frequency of your desires. Every emotion carries a vibrational frequency, and when you align with the frequency of love, abundance, or peace, you naturally attract those experiences into your life. This is not a matter of chance or luck, it is a universal law. What you feel deeply and consistently becomes your reality. It is also worth noting that the feeling of the prayer can uplift not only your own life but also the lives of others. When you pray for someone with genuine compassion and love, you send out a ripple of positive energy that can touch them in ways beyond comprehension. This is why prayers for healing, protection, or guidance are so powerful when they come from a place of heartfelt emotion. Your feelings infuse the prayer with a vitality that transcends words, reaching the very soul of the person you are praying for. The feeling of the prayer is what transforms it from a mere ritual into a profound act of creation. It is not the length of your prayer or the eloquence of your words that matters, it is the sincerity and intensity of your feelings. When you pray with feeling, you step into the role of co-creator, shaping your reality in partnership with the divine. You declare, through your emotions, that what you seek is already yours, and you trust that the universe will bring it into form. So the next time you pray, pause and center yourself. Feel the gratitude, joy, and certainty of your desire fulfilled. Let your heart speak louder than your words, and trust that your prayer, carried by the power of feeling, is already answered. In this way, you harness the true essence of prayer, a bridge between the seen and the unseen, between longing and fulfillment, between your soul and the infinite. To be united with the infinite is to recognize the boundless connection between yourself and the source of all creation. It is an awakening to the truth that you are not separate from the divine, nor are you merely a passive participant in life's unfolding. Instead, you are an expression of the infinite, a vessel through which its creative power flows. This unity is not something to be achieved, but something to be remembered, for it has always been your natural state. The infinite is not an entity outside of you, distant and unreachable. It is the very essence of your being, the eternal presence within you that transcends time, space, and circumstance. This presence, often called by many names God, the universe, or the divine, is the source of all life and the wellspring of infinite potential. To align with this truth is to step into your role as a co-creator, to recognize that the same power that spins galaxies into existence dwells within you. The recognition of unity with the infinite begins with awareness. Most of humanity lives in a state of separation, perceiving themselves as limited individuals navigating a world of external forces. This illusion of separation creates fear, doubt, and struggle, for it obscures the profound truth of your inherent divinity. To break free from this illusion, you must turn inward, quieting the noise of the external world and listening to the still, small voice within. It is in this silence that the infinite speaks, reminding you of your oneness with all that is. In this oneness there is no lack, no limitation, and no fear. The infinite knows no boundaries, and as its expression you are equally boundless. Your desires, dreams, and aspirations are not random, they are the whispers of the infinite seeking to manifest through you. To be united with the infinite is to trust these whispers, to understand that your deepest desires are not separate from the divine will, but are, in fact, its unfolding through your life. Faith plays a vital role in this unity. Faith is not blind hope or wishful thinking, it is the deep knowing that the infinite is always working in your favor, even when appearances suggest otherwise. When you act in faith, you align yourself with the flow of the infinite, allowing its power to move through you unhindered. This faith is strengthened by understanding that the infinite is inherently good, that its nature is abundance, love, and harmony. When you trust in this nature, you release fear and resistance, opening yourself to the miraculous. The key to experiencing unity with the infinite lies in your imagination and feelings. Imagination is the bridge between the seen and the unseen, the conscious and the subconscious. When you imagine with feeling, you are speaking the language of the infinite, impressing upon it the reality you wish to create. The infinite responds not to idle thoughts, but to the conviction and emotion behind them. To imagine yourself as abundant, loved, or healed is to plant the seeds of those realities in the fertile soil of the infinite. This unity also invites surrender. To be one with the infinite is not to control every detail of your life, but to trust in the divine intelligence that orchestrates all things. Surrender does not mean passivity, it means releasing the need to struggle and allowing the flow of the infinite to guide you. It is an active trust, a partnership in which you do your part by aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the vision you hold, while leaving the rest to the wisdom of the infinite. When you align with the infinite, you realize that life is not happening to you but through you. The challenges you face are not punishments but opportunities for growth, designed to deepen your understanding of your unity with the divine. In every obstacle lies a gift, and in every moment, the infinite is calling you to rise into a greater awareness of your power and purpose. This unity also transforms your relationships with others. When you see yourself as one with the infinite, you begin to see others in the same light. You understand that the divine essence within you is the same essence within them, and this recognition fosters compassion, forgiveness, and love. Our unity with the infinite dissolves the illusion of separation, replacing it with the truth of interconnectedness. To live in this unity is to live a life of purpose, peace, and power. It is to move through the world with the quiet confidence that you are supported, guided, and loved by an intelligence far greater than your individual self. This is not a fleeting experience but a continual state of being, a way of life that transforms the mundane into the miraculous. The infinite is always present, always within you, waiting for you to awaken to its reality. The journey to this awakening is not one of striving but of surrender, not of seeking but of remembering. When you embrace this unity, you step into the fullness of your potential, realizing that you are not merely a drop in the ocean, but the ocean itself in a drop. This is the truth of your being, the essence of your existence, and the ultimate realization of your divine nature. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the gates of abundance and fulfillment. It is not merely an acknowledgement of blessings, but a transformative force that aligns you with the infinite flow of divine provision. The prayer of gratitude is more than a set of words spoken in thanks. It is an act of deep connection with the source of all life. It transcends circumstances and appearances, allowing you to draw closer to the essence of creation, where the seeds of your desires are nurtured and brought to fruition. When you pray with gratitude, you declare that you already have what you seek. This is not a matter of pretense, but a profound act of faith. Gratitude affirms that your desires are not distant possibilities, but present realities waiting to be revealed. It shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from need to fulfillment. By expressing gratitude for what is yet unseen, you call it into being, for the universe responds to your state of belief and feeling. The prayer of gratitude begins with a recognition of the blessings already present in your life. Even in moments of difficulty, there is always something to be thankful for: a breath of air, the warmth of sunlight, the love of another, or simply the gift of existence. By focusing on these blessings, no matter how small, you create a foundation of appreciation upon which greater blessings can be built. Gratitude transforms your perspective, allowing you to see the goodness that surrounds you and to invite more of it into your experience. To pray with gratitude is to acknowledge the divine order that underlies all things. It is an acceptance of the truth that everything unfolds in perfect timing, even when it does not align with your expectations. When you trust in this order, you release the need for control and surrender to the wisdom of the infinite. Gratitude in prayer is not conditional upon receiving what you want. It is an expression of trust that the universe is always working for your highest good. The act of expressing gratitude opens the heart. It shifts your emotional state, lifting you out of fear, doubt, and worry. In this elevated state, your prayers carry a higher vibration, one that resonates with the frequency of love, abundance, and joy. Gratitude is a bridge between the conscious and subconscious mind, impressing upon the latter the reality you wish to experience. When your prayer is filled with gratitude, it becomes a powerful affirmation that aligns your inner world with the outer reality you seek to create. Gratitude is also a form of alignment with the divine. When you express thanks for your blessings, you acknowledge the infinite source from which they flow. This acknowledgement strengthens your connection to the divine, reminding you that you are not separate from the source of your good. In this connection, you find peace, knowing that you are always supported, guided, and provided for. The prayer of gratitude is a conversation with the divine, one that deepens your relationship with the infinite and reaffirms your place in its boundless flow. Visualizing your desires as already fulfilled can amplify the power of your gratitude. As you pray, imagine yourself living the reality you seek. See it clearly in your mind's eye and feel the emotions that accompany it. Let the joy, relief, and appreciation fill your heart as if it is already yours. This act of imagination, coupled with heartfelt gratitude, creates a magnetic force that draws your desires into your life. You are not merely hoping for your prayer to be answered, you are declaring that it is already done. Gratitude also teaches you the art of receiving. Many struggle to accept the blessings they pray for, feeling unworthy or hesitant to embrace the abundance that life offers. The prayer of gratitude dissolves these barriers, reminding you that you are deserving of every good thing. When you give thanks in advance, you open yourself to receive with grace and humility. This openness allows the flow of blessings to move freely, unimpeded by doubt or resistance. The beauty of the prayer of gratitude is that it requires no special conditions or circumstances. It can be spoken in moments of joy or sorrow, in times of plenty or need. Gratitude does not wait for the perfect moment, it creates the perfect moment. By giving thanks in all situations, you affirm your trust in the divine plan and invite the blessings of the infinite into your life. The prayer of gratitude is a practice of faith, a declaration of unity with the divine, and an acknowledgement of the abundance that is your birthright. It is a simple yet profound act that transforms your relationship with life, shifting your focus from what is missing to what is present and possible. In this state of gratitude, you become a co-creator with the divine, shaping your reality through the power of appreciation. As you embrace the prayer of gratitude, you step into the flow of infinite provision. You awaken to the truth that everything you seek is already within you, waiting to be expressed. Gratitude becomes not just a practice, but a way of being, a constant recognition of the goodness that surrounds you and the boundless possibilities that lie ahead. Through the prayer of gratitude, you align with the infinite, allowing its love, abundance, and wisdom to flow freely into every aspect of your life. Visualization in prayer is a powerful tool that bridges the gap between the seen and the unseen, the physical and the spiritual. It is not merely the act of imagining, but an intentional practice of bringing the desired outcome into focus with clarity and feeling. When you engage in visualization during prayer, you do not beg or plead. Instead, you step into the reality you wish to create. You move beyond words into a state of deep communion with the divine, shaping the unseen into form. Prayer, when combined with visualization, becomes an act of creation. The mind, imbued with divine power, has the capacity to shape reality. The images you hold in your mind and the emotions you attach to them are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of the infinite. When nurtured with faith and conviction, these seeds grow into the experiences of your life. Visualization allows you to harness this creative power consciously, directing it toward your desires with precision. Letting go and trusting is one of the most profound yet challenging principles in life. It requires you to release control over the details of how and when your desires will manifest, surrendering instead to the infinite wisdom of the divine. This act of letting go is not an act of giving up, it is a conscious decision to trust that the universe is working in your favor, orchestrating all things for your highest good. When you hold tightly to your desires, gripping them with fear or desperation, you create resistance. This resistance stems from doubt, anxiety, and a need to control outcomes. The energy of fear blocks the natural flow of blessings into your life, much like a dam obstructs the flow of a river. Letting go removes this resistance, allowing the infinite power of creation to move freely and effortlessly through you. To let go is to trust in a higher order. It is a recognition that your human perspective is limited, and that there is a divine intelligence far greater than your understanding. This intelligence knows the perfect timing and method for your desires to unfold. Trusting this wisdom means stepping out of the way, allowing the divine to work without interference. It is an act of faith, a declaration that you believe in the unseen forces guiding your life. Letting go does not mean abandoning your dreams or desires. On the contrary, it means holding your vision with unwavering faith while releasing the need to control every step of the journey. It is about shifting from a state of attachment to a state of trust. When you let go, you create space for miracles to occur, outcomes that often exceed your expectations. The universe is boundless in its capacity to create, and when you release your grip, you invite infinite possibilities into your life. Trust requires patience, for the divine operates on its own timeline. This timeline may not align with your expectations, but it is always perfect. Impatience arises from a lack of trust, a belief that things should happen according to your schedule. By letting go and trusting, you align yourself with divine timing, understanding that delays are not denials but part of a larger, unseen plan. This patience brings peace, for you no longer struggle against the current of life. Letting go also means releasing the need for specific outcomes. Often we become fixated on one particular way for our desires to manifest, limiting the infinite ways the divine can answer our prayers. Trust allows you to remain open to possibilities beyond your imagination. It is a recognition that the divine knows what is best for you, even when it doesn't align with your expectations. When you let go of rigid outcomes, you open yourself to receive blessings in forms you may never have considered. The practice of letting go and trusting begins with surrender. Surrender is not an act of weakness but of strength. It is a conscious choice to release the burden of control and place your trust in the divine. This surrender is not passive, it is active faith. It involves taking inspired action when prompted while releasing the need to force results. Surrendering means aligning with the flow of life rather than resisting it. Gratitude plays a vital role in this process. When you express gratitude for what you already have and for what is yet to come, you affirm your trust in the divine. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, reinforcing your belief that the universe is working on your behalf. It is a powerful reminder that you are already supported and that more blessings are on their way. Through gratitude, you cultivate a sense of peace and contentment, even before your desires have materialized. Visualization can also support the process of letting go. By vividly imagining your desires as already fulfilled, you impress them upon your subconscious mind, setting the creative forces of the universe into motion. Once this vision is firmly planted, you can release it with confidence, trusting that the divine will bring it into reality. This combination of focused intention and surrendered trust is a powerful formula for manifestation. The act of letting go requires self-awareness. It calls you to examine your fears, doubts, and attachments, recognizing where you are holding on too tightly. As you become aware of these patterns, you can consciously choose to release them, replacing fear with faith and anxiety with trust. This inner work is essential, for it aligns your thoughts and emotions with the energy of trust, creating a fertile ground for your desires to manifest. Letting go and trusting is ultimately an act of love. It is a recognition that you are deeply cared for by the divine, that your needs and desires are known, and that you are never alone. Trusting means resting in the assurance that all things are working together for your good, even when the path is unclear. It is a peaceful surrender to the infinite, a quiet confidence that what is meant for you will never pass you by. As you embrace the practice of letting go and trusting, you will find freedom. You release the weight of worry and step into a state of flow, where life unfolds with grace and ease. In this state, you become a co-creator with the divine, shaping your reality not through force, but through faith. Letting go is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a life lived in harmony with the infinite, where trust becomes your guiding light and love your constant companion. My friends, let us embark on a journey of discovery, a journey that reveals the most powerful way to respond to those who have caused you pain. In this moment, let us not dwell in anger, resentment, or the desire to retaliate. Instead, let us learn how to rise above, how to transcend the insult, and how to emerge victorious, not over them but within ourselves. The best revenge, my friends, is not found in retaliation, anger, or attempts to even the score. It is not about meeting their actions with equal force or sinking to their level in the hope of inflicting the same pain they gave you. No, the most profound and lasting revenge lies in rising above, in transcending the petty actions of others, and becoming so elevated in your own life that their attempts to harm you become insignificant, mere specks in the grand tapestry of your existence. To rise above is to choose mastery over reaction. When someone hurts you, they often aim to provoke a response. Their words or actions are designed to pull you into a cycle of conflict, where your energy is drained and your peace disrupted. But what happens when you refuse to engage? What happens when you rise above their reach? You become untouchable. Their power over you evaporates, and their actions lose meaning because they fail to achieve the effect they intended. So, rising above does not mean ignoring what happened or pretending it did not affect you. Instead, it is a conscious choice to prioritize your growth and well-being over temporary emotions like anger or vengeance. It requires an inner strength that says, I will not allow this to define me. I will not let their actions dictate the course of my life. In doing so, you reclaim your power. For as long as you dwell on their actions, you are giving them control. But the moment you focus on your ascent, you break free from their grasp. There is a profound wisdom in understanding that life is not about what happens to you, but how you respond to it. When someone wrongs you, they reveal more about themselves than they do about you. Their actions come from a place of pain, insecurity, or ignorance. To retaliate is to step into the same energy that caused their behavior in the first place. But to rise above is to transcend it entirely, to stand as a beacon of strength and dignity, untarnished by the negativity they tried to project onto you. Imagine this: someone throws mud at you, hoping to see you covered in filth. If you stand there and throw mud back, both of you end up dirty. But if you walk away, untouched and unbothered, they are left to deal with their own mess. Rising above is like walking away from the mud fight. It is the ultimate act of self-respect and wisdom. The beauty of rising above lies in its quiet power. It is not about proving anything to anyone. It is not about showing them you are better or stronger. It is about living in a way that their actions no longer matter. When you channel your energy into your own growth and success, you create a life so fulfilling and extraordinary that their attempts to hurt you fade into irrelevance. You become a testament to the fact that no one can diminish you unless you allow it. This path requires a deep understanding of yourself. It demands that you let go of the need for external validation or the desire to teach them a lesson. The truth is, life will handle that for you. People who act from malice or harm will eventually face the consequences of their actions, not because you intervened, but because the universe operates on the principle of balance. Your role is not to enforce justice, but to rise so high that their actions no longer reach you. When you rise above, you transform pain into purpose. You take the hurt they caused and use it as fuel to become better, stronger, and more resilient. Every step you take toward your dreams, every moment of joy you create for yourself, is a quiet but powerful statement: I am greater than what was done to me. This is not revenge in the traditional sense, it is transcendence. It is the kind of revenge that heals rather than destroys. Let them see you rise, not because you want to prove them wrong, but because rising is your nature. It is your destiny to grow, to evolve, and to shine. Their attempts to hurt you are but fleeting shadows in the radiant light of your ascent. They may look at you from afar, wondering how you managed to thrive despite their efforts to pull you down. and in that moment, they will realize that their actions had no power over you. This is the sweetest revenge, not in their suffering but in your joy, not in their downfall but in your rise. You show them, and the world, that nothing can keep you from fulfilling your potential. In choosing to rise above, you not only free yourself but also inspire others to do the same. You become a living example of strength, grace, and resilience. So rise, my friends. Rise above the pettiness, the hurt, and the pain. Rise so high that those who sought to harm you become mere spectators to your greatness. And as you rise, you will find that the best revenge is not revenge at all, it is the profound, unshakable peace that comes from knowing you have chosen to live a life of purpose, power, and grace. The journey of healing begins not by seeking change in the external world, but by turning inward and transforming yourself. When someone causes you pain, it is easy to fixate on their actions, to analyze their motives, or to plan your response. But this outward focus often leads to frustration and bitterness because it keeps you tethered to the very thing you wish to escape. True liberation comes when you redirect your attention inward and commit to inner transformation. This is where your greatest power lies. Inner transformation is not about denying the hurt you feel or pretending that nothing happened. It is about acknowledging your pain with honesty and compassion, and then choosing to rise above it by reshaping your inner world. The actions of others can only affect you to the extent that you allow them to shape your beliefs and self-perception. When you transform within, you change the way you perceive their actions, and in doing so, you free yourself from their hold. The first step in this transformation is understanding that external events are merely reflections of your inner state. Life mirrors your beliefs, fears, and expectations. When someone hurts you, it may feel like an attack from the outside, but their actions often highlight areas within you that need healing. Perhaps it touches an old wound, a hidden insecurity, or a belief that you are unworthy. By recognizing this, you shift from seeing yourself as a victim to seeing the situation as an opportunity for growth. Ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me about myself? What beliefs or patterns is it revealing? These questions are not about blaming yourself, but about taking responsibility for your inner state. When you identify the beliefs that have allowed this pain to take root, you can begin to release them. This process may feel uncomfortable because it requires honesty and vulnerability, but it is through this discomfort that true healing occurs. As you begin to transform within, you will notice a profound shift in your perspective. The actions of others will no longer carry the same weight because you are no longer looking to them for validation or fulfillment. Inner transformation teaches you that your worth is intrinsic and cannot be diminished by the opinions or actions of others. When you fully embrace this truth, you become immune to the negativity of those who seek to harm you. Forgiveness plays a crucial role in inner transformation. Forgiveness is not about condoning the behavior of others or forgetting what they did. It is about releasing the emotional burden that their actions have placed on you. Holding on to anger or resentment keeps you trapped in the past, replaying the hurt over and over in your mind. Forgiveness breaks this cycle, allowing you to reclaim your peace. It is a gift you give to yourself, not to the other person. Transforming within also means reclaiming your power. When you focus on the actions of others, you give them control over your emotions and your life. Inner transformation shifts that focus back to you. It reminds you that no one has the power to hurt you unless you give them that power. By nurturing your inner world, you build an unshakable foundation of self-worth, self-love, and self-respect. From this place of strength, you can face any challenge with grace and confidence. To cultivate inner transformation, it is essential to develop practices that support your growth. Meditation, journaling, and self-reflection are powerful tools for exploring your inner world and gaining clarity about the beliefs and patterns that no longer serve you. Visualization is another valuable practice. Envision yourself as the person you want to become: strong, peaceful, and unbothered by the negativity of others. Feel the emotions associated with this vision and embody them in your daily life. Gratitude is another key to inner transformation. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you shift your energy from lack to abundance. Even in the face of pain, there is always something to be grateful for: a lesson learned, a strength discovered, or a new perspective gained. Gratitude transforms your outlook and helps you see challenges as stepping stones to growth. As you commit to your inner transformation, you will find that the actions of those who hurt you no longer define you. Their power over you diminishes, not because they have changed, but because you have changed. You have risen above their negativity, and in doing so, you have freed yourself from their influence. The beauty of inner transformation is that it not only heals you but also elevates every aspect of your life. It empowers you to create a reality that reflects your highest self, one filled with peace, joy, and abundance. It also inspires those around you to embark on their own journey of transformation, creating a ripple effect of positivity and growth. Focusing on your inner transformation is the most profound response to those who hurt you. It is not about them, it is about you. It is about reclaiming your power, healing your heart, and stepping into the fullness of who you are. And as you transform within, you will discover that you no longer need revenge, because the life you have created for yourself is its own reward. In a world that often rewards noise, reaction, and haste, there lies a profound and transformative power in silence. It is not merely the absence of words, but a deliberate and conscious choice to hold your peace, to withhold your energy from situations that do not serve your growth, and to wield your silence as a tool of strength and wisdom. Mastering the art of silence is not about withdrawing from life, it is about engaging with life on your terms, with clarity and intention. It is often misunderstood as weakness, passivity, or avoidance. But true silence is an act of immense strength. It requires self-control to resist the urge to react, especially in moments of conflict or provocation. When someone seeks to hurt you with words or actions, their power lies in your response. If you retaliate, you validate their behavior, fueling the cycle of negativity. But when you remain silent, you take away their power. Your silence says, "I choose not to participate in this chaos." In doing so, you rise above the noise and preserve your peace. Mastering silence begins with self-awareness. It is about recognizing the times when speaking would bring no benefit, when words would only escalate tension or deplete your energy. Silence does not mean suppression of emotions, but the channeling of those emotions into something constructive. When you feel the urge to react, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, what purpose will my words serve in this moment? More often than not, you will find that silence carries more weight than any words you could speak. Silence also creates space for reflection. In the quiet, you can hear the whispers of your intuition, the inner voice that guides you toward wisdom and clarity. When you fill every moment with noise, whether through conversation, distractions, or reactive thoughts, you drown out this inner guidance. But in the stillness of silence, you connect with your true self. You gain perspective, allowing you to see situations for what they are rather than through the lens of heightened emotions. The art of silence extends beyond conflict. It is a way of living with intentionality. In a world where everyone is vying for attention, silence sets you apart. It is a mark of confidence and self-assurance, showing that you do not need to constantly explain, justify, or prove yourself to others. When you withhold unnecessary words, you conserve your energy for what truly matters. Your presence becomes more powerful because you speak only when your words have value. Can also be a tool for observation. When you refrain from speaking, you sharpen your ability to listen not just to others but to the subtle dynamics of a situation. You become attuned to the unspoken truths, the underlying emotions, and the motivations that words often conceal. This heightened awareness allows you to respond, not react, when the time is right. Your silence becomes a source of insight and strategy, enabling you to navigate life with wisdom and grace. There is a profound elegance in silence. It allows you to maintain your dignity in the face of provocation. When others try to pull you into their drama or provoke you with their negativity, your silence communicates that you will not lower yourself to their level. It is not about ignoring them, but about prioritizing your inner peace over temporary satisfaction. Silence is not an act of retreat, it is a stance of strength that says, "I know my worth, and I will not waste it on this." Mastering the art of silence also teaches patience. It is a practice of restraint that allows you to wait for the right moment to act or speak. In silence, you cultivate the ability to sit with uncertainty and trust that clarity will come in time. You learn that not every situation requires an immediate response, and that sometimes the most powerful statement is no statement at all. Silence is not about cutting yourself off from the world. It is about engaging with it more intentionally. It is about recognizing that your words and energy are precious and should not be squandered on things that do not align with your highest self. When you master silence, you become a person of substance. Your presence alone speaks volumes because it is rooted in self-assurance and clarity. In silence, you also find healing. The noise of life can often drown out your inner voice, leaving you disconnected from yourself. But in the stillness of silence, you can confront your emotions, process your experiences, and release what no longer serves you. Silence is a sanctuary where you can recharge, reflect, and realign with your purpose. Mastering the art of silence is about reclaiming your power. It is about choosing when and how to engage with the world in a way that honors your energy and values. It is about understanding that not everything deserves your attention, and that sometimes the loudest statement you can make is your quiet, unwavering presence. In mastering silence, you master yourself, and there is no greater strength than that. Manifesting a better reality begins with a fundamental realization the outer world you experience is but a reflection of your inner world. It mirrors your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and the stories you tell yourself each day. When you grasp this truth, you reclaim your power as the creator of your life. You are not bound by the circumstances you see today. You have the ability to reshape your world by first transforming your inner state. Once you have a clear vision, the next step is belief. Belief is the foundation upon which manifestation is built. You cannot create a reality you do not believe is possible for you. Too often people let doubt and fear dilute their dreams. They say they want abundance but secretly believe they are unworthy. They desire love but carry the fear of rejection. These conflicting beliefs send mixed signals to the universe, delaying or even blocking the manifestation process. To align your beliefs with your desires, you must consciously replace limiting thoughts with empowering ones. Start by observing your internal dialogue. What are the recurring thoughts you have about yourself and your life? If they are rooted in scarcity, self-doubt, or fear, challenge them. Affirm to yourself, "I am worthy of the life I desire," and repeat it until it becomes your truth. The more you cultivate empowering beliefs, the more you align with the frequency of your desired reality. Emotions play a crucial role in manifestation. Your emotions are the energy that fuels your vision and propels it into reality. The universe does not respond to mere words, it responds to the vibration of your feelings. If you want to manifest joy, you must feel joyful now. If you want abundance, feel abundant even before it appears in your bank account. This is not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It is about intentionally cultivating emotions that match the reality you wish to create. Visualization is a powerful tool for embodying these emotions. Each day, take a few moments to close your eyes and vividly imagine yourself living your desired reality. See the details, hear the sounds, and most importantly, feel the emotions associated with that life. Visualize as if it is happening now, not in some distant future. When you consistently embody the feelings of your desired reality, you draw it closer to you. Another vital aspect of manifesting a better reality is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, raising your vibration and aligning you with the energy of receiving. Each day, take time to appreciate the blessings in your life, no matter how small. Gratitude is a powerful affirmation to the universe that you are ready for more. It is a reminder that even as you strive for a better reality, there is beauty and goodness in the present moment. Remember that your current reality does not define you. It is merely a reflection of your past thoughts, beliefs, and actions. If you do not like what you see, do not despair. You are not bound by your past. You have the power to create a new future. Every moment is an opportunity to choose differently, to align with your highest self, and to manifest a life that reflects your truest desires. Manifesting a better reality is not an overnight process, but a continuous practice of aligning your inner world with your aspirations. It requires patience, persistence, and unwavering faith in your ability to create. As you commit to this journey, you will begin to see subtle shifts, opportunities appearing, relationships improving, and challenges dissolving. These are signs that your efforts are working. Trust the process, stay aligned with your vision, and watch as your better reality unfolds before your eyes. Forgiveness is one of the most profound acts of liberation you can ever grant yourself. It is not a gift you give to those who have wronged you, but a powerful release that sets your own spirit free. Often misunderstood as condoning or excusing the actions of others, true forgiveness transcends the external world. It is an inner journey, a choice to let go of the heavy burdens of resentment, anger, and pain that weigh down your soul. When someone hurts you, it is natural to feel anger and betrayal. These emotions are valid, and acknowledging them is an important part of the healing process. But holding on to them indefinitely only deepens your wounds. Resentment acts like a chain, binding you to the very person or situation you wish to escape. You may think that by refusing to forgive, you are holding the other person accountable, but in reality, you are keeping yourself trapped in a cycle of suffering. It is not about forgetting the wrong or pretending it did not happen. It is not about reconciling with someone who continues to harm you. It is about freeing your heart from the poison of bitterness. When you refuse to forgive, the person who hurt you continues to hold power over your thoughts, emotions, and even your well-being. By choosing forgiveness, you reclaim that power. You take control of your narrative and release the hold that the past has on you. Forgiveness begins with a decision. It is a conscious choice to let go of the story that keeps replaying in your mind, the story that says, "I was wronged, and I cannot move on until justice is served." This story may feel justified, but it also keeps you anchored to pain. Decide instead to tell a new story. I choose to heal. I choose peace over pain. I choose freedom over resentment. This decision does not mean that forgiveness happens instantly. It is a process, and like any journey, it requires patience and compassion for yourself. Start by acknowledging the hurt you feel and the impact it has had on you. Forgiveness does not require you to minimize your pain or pretend that it does not exist. Instead, it invites you to honor your emotions while recognizing that holding on to them is no longer serving you. As you move through this process, reflect on the humanity of the person who hurt you. This does not mean excusing their behavior, but understanding that they too are a flawed and imperfect being. Often people act out of their own pain, ignorance, or fear. By seeing their actions as a reflection of their struggles, rather than a statement of your worth, you can begin to detach from the personal sting of their behavior. Forgiveness is also an act of self-love. It is a way of saying to yourself, "I deserve peace. I deserve joy. I will not let this wound define me." When you forgive, you release the emotional baggage that weighs you down and create space for healing and growth. You open the door to new possibilities, allowing love, gratitude, and happiness to flow into your life once more. Sometimes, the hardest person to forgive is yourself. You may carry guilt or shame over mistakes you have made or opportunities you feel you have missed. But just as you extend compassion to others, you must extend it to yourself. Forgive yourself for the times you fell short, for the choices you wish you had made differently. Understand that you were doing the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. Forgiveness of self is a powerful act of reclaiming your wholeness. It is not a one-time event. Old wounds may resurface, and feelings of anger or sadness may reappear. When this happens, remind yourself of your commitment to let go. Forgiveness is a practice, a daily decision to choose peace over pain. Each time you reaffirm this choice, you strengthen your capacity for compassion and resilience. You align yourself with the highest version of yourself. You step into a place of empowerment where the actions of others no longer dictate your emotional state. You realize that your peace and happiness are not contingent on external circumstances, but are yours to claim. Let forgiveness free you, and watch as the chains of resentment fall away, leaving you lighter, stronger, and ready to embrace the fullness of life. Reclaiming your power begins with turning your focus inward. When life presents challenges, betrayals, or disappointments, it's tempting to direct your energy outward toward those who hurt you, toward circumstances that feel unfair, or toward problems that seem insurmountable. But true empowerment is not found in controlling the external world, it lies in mastering your internal state. By shifting your focus to yourself, you reclaim the authority over your life that was always yours. It starts with recognizing where your energy has been going. Every time you dwell on what someone said or did, every moment you spend rehashing the past or worrying about the future, you are giving away a piece of your power. You cannot change what has already happened, and you cannot control the actions of others. But you can control how you respond, how you think, and where you direct your attention. This realization is the first step towards self-focus. When you focus on yourself, you stop seeking validation or resolution from the outside world. You understand that your worth is not determined by the opinions or actions of others. No one has the right to define you, and no external event has the power to diminish your value unless you allow it. By turning inward, you cultivate a deep sense of self-respect and self-reliance. You learn to trust yourself, to honor your needs, and to make choices that align with your values and aspirations. One of the most transformative aspects of self-focus is the ability to set boundaries. Boundaries are not about shutting others out, but about protecting your energy and prioritizing your well-being. When you reclaim your power, you no longer feel obligated to say yes to everything or to tolerate behavior that disrespects you. You recognize that your time, energy, and peace are precious resources, and you become intentional about how you spend them. Setting boundaries is an act of self-love, a way of saying I matter, and I deserve to be treated with respect. Focusing on yourself also means taking responsibility for your happiness. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that happiness depends on external circumstances, a promotion, a relationship, or an apology from someone who wronged you. But external sources of happiness are fleeting and unreliable. True happiness comes from within, from a sense of purpose, gratitude, and self-acceptance. By reclaiming your power, you take ownership of your emotional state. You stop waiting for others to make you happy, and instead create a life that brings you joy. As you reclaim your power, you will notice a shift in your perspective. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as the creator of your reality. You understand that life is not about what happens to you, but about how you respond. This shift in mindset is incredibly liberating. It gives you the confidence to face challenges, the resilience to overcome setbacks, and the wisdom to learn from every experience. Reclaiming power through self-focus is not about isolation or selfishness, it is about alignment. When you are aligned with your true self, you radiate confidence, peace, and purpose. This not only benefits you but also positively impacts those around you. By focusing on yourself, you set an example of what it means to live authentically and intentionally. You are your greatest investment. By turning your focus inward, you reclaim your power and unlock the limitless potential within you. Life may still present challenges, but when you are grounded in self-focus, you face them with strength, grace, and clarity. This is how you create a life that is not only successful but deeply fulfilling. In the journey of reclaiming your power, the key lies in turning inward, focusing on your growth, and freeing yourself from the chains of resentment or external validation. Through silence, forgiveness, self-transformation, and an unwavering commitment to manifest a better reality, you step into your true strength. This path is not about changing others or seeking revenge. It's about elevating yourself to a state of peace, purpose, and empowerment. Thank you for taking the time to embark on this journey of empowerment and self-discovery. Remember, the power to transform your life has always been within you. Choose to rise, choose to heal, and choose to live as the best version of yourself.